Hello, everybody. Hi, Ava. Ava's gonna get some salmon treats. She got freeze-dried salmon earlier. Oh, I'm so happy I emptied that can. Oh, that stuff smelled. It smelled like fish. Go figure. She likes it, though. I was giving her extra treats just to get rid of it. It was that Montusan, Monday to Sunday. Yeah. I mean, great brand. Absolutely great product. Stanky. I had to go out and people tonight. I didn't like it. Of all places, I had to go to Walmart. I had to do some returns. The fit predictor on their app failed me. Well, half and half, I failed myself. No, the pants were actually way, way too big. Oh, crumb on my shirt you left there. Yeah. They're actually way too big. And by big, I mean, holy buckets. I would have had to grow my legs an additional 2 feet. They really need to take an anatomy class of what the human form actually looks like. I bought 5 pair of pants. The Fit Predict calculator on them. I measured my waist. I did. I used the tape measure, and so I know the inches were accurate. And they weren't even close. Like, the pairs of capris, they have a string that ties, thank God. They're not elastic at all. There's just this tying string. But when it's not tied, I can hold them out here. Like, I can hold them out here. It's crazy. I kept those though because I can tie them tighter. But the length, the capris fit perfectly. They're a little high water-ish, tiny bit, but nothing compared to the other ones that I bought that were like $30 a pair and 2 feet too long. I put them on and I'm like standing on the knees. I don't think that's, my legs are not that short. They can't be, like, in proportion wise to other humans. I've stood next to humans before. Yeah, it's not just always me dancing with Ava. I have stood next to other people. My legs are not that different from others. I don't know how y'all buy pants other than in the store. Because online just ain't the way. And then I had some other items that I had to return. So, y'all know I like lacy and pretty things. Well, I bought some satin nighties, and those were not too big. Those were way too small. And I don't think they used more than a ribbon's worth of fabric on any of them. I was so disappointed. But that's what you get buying nighties from Walmart, I suppose. They're not made for that shit. Oh, but anyways, I survived it. I made it home. I made the cashier laugh a little bit. That was worth it. I was embarrassed taking that stuff back. I really was. You know, I mean, I didn't even open all of them. I tried out, like, There were 9 of them. I only found 8. They all got delivered on different days. So I only found 8 packages, and of them, only 4 were open. I gave up after 4. I was like, no, clearly this was a bad idea. Oh, but it's over now. It's over now. And within 10 days, it'll all be refunded back to my card. Every bad decision, and I can forget that it happened. Buenos dias, wire mother. I don't know how to say wire mother. I suppose since it's your name, it would just be wire mother. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, Joey Bag of Donuts. You guys are the best kind of peopling. You guys are people I like to people with. Hello, Michelle Moreland. Hello, Jerry Matthew Boyd. Whoa! Hi! What was that about? She wanted attention now. You're all calm now. What the heck? You just dove into my arm. You actually dove into it to make it fly over my head to pet you. You are insane, and I love you. All right, we good now? Are we good now? Yeah. Oh, I hear you, Earl. I hear you. Hello, Wolflore lover. Hi, Earl. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? Yeah. Hello, Charlie. Oh my gosh. Okay, that song, Wake Up Little Susie, this just reminded me. Oh my gosh. I heard this story all of my dad's life, well, all of my life, about my dad's life. So when my dad was like 5 years old, my grandma and grandpa had him at a bar, and there was a band playing Wake Up Little Susie, Wake Up. And my dad got up and he went running up to the singers and he was screaming, "No, you don't wake up, little Susie. You let little Susie sleep." And the band stopped playing because they were all laughing so hard. My dad was just pitching a fit right at the front of the bar. Your song just reminded me of that story. My grandma loved telling that story, of course, because it's adorable. Other than, my dad was at the bar at like 5, but that was different times back then, different times. Aww, you are so darn sweet. I love when you lie to me. Oh my gosh, nosy. Truth is, I had my neighbor over here and we started in the daytime trying to fix that thing. So I don't know. I didn't show you guys the video that I made of it after it was put together. I'm sure I did something wrong. The instructions do say that you want 2 people. So we'll start there. I had 2 people after I had it mostly put together. And it wasn't flush. with one of the puzzle pieces. All of the outside ring pieces are the same size. There's 4 of them, and they just fit together like a puzzle. There's 4 on each side, so 8 total. And then there's a little bracket that goes behind the seam of the puzzle pieces, and you screw support screws into the bracket, and that's what makes up the edges. And then each board is held on by 2 screws apiece, 1 on each side, except for like 4 or 5 bracer boards that have 2 screws each, but they're all the same size of piece. Anyways, get the ring made up with all the boards on one side of it, but I needed help flipping it over to screw all the boards into the other side. Get it all together and realize that one of the puzzle pieces is not flush. So every time it spun, it went psh, 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 psh. And you could see on the base at each side of the other side, the veneer is like scraping off. My thought was maybe he has skill that he can, just cut it flush or sand it flush. He wanted to bring out the tools. He brought every tool he had. I swear it. He has this Milwaukee tote. Giant Milwaukee tote. It's like a cooler, but it's full of drills and bits and parts and Milwaukee everything. He loves Milwaukee tools. And the first thing he needed to do was, the reason I couldn't unscrew the puzzle pieces was 2 of the screws had stripped completely. So I couldn't get it out. And I tried the tricks, the rubber band trick, the duct tape trick. I tried. I couldn't. I tried putting glue dot in there. Nothing worked. I couldn't get it out. And he's got the tap and die set. Okay, go for it. So he put a new, longer, more supportive screw in that place and tried to screw it in deeper to pull the puzzle piece in. That it didn't pull in. So then starts the dismantling project of it. And then it goes into somehow involving a chisel, some filing tools. He mentioned a Dremel. I don't think he ever got the Dremel out. But there was a lot of tools involved. And it took all day and most of the night. Yeah, it was a big project. But it doesn't rub anymore. He lathered it up really good with WD-40 on the base, so it's a little quieter, but he did offer to burn it in his burn pit and allow me to live stream it. He got to that point. He doesn't like it at all. He still doesn't like it. It's functioning as it's intended to function now, but he still wants to burn it. Yeah, that's where I was last night. My whole studio was just a mishmash, hodgepodge of parts of that thing that the cats won't even use. They won't even use it. I can't get them to use it. I thought maybe if I stopped it from going that maybe they'd try it. No. But I have better laser pointers coming. And maybe when the laser pointer is bright again, maybe they'll get on it. I don't know. Earl's the closest I've gotten. I've gotten him to swat it. Billy laid on it. Earl actually made the wheel move by swatting it. Oh, they've been pistols tonight. They really have. I know this. I was running out of clothes, okay? I I I never own many pants. I have pants still that I wore in high school that still fit me. I mean, the weight has gone up and down. The pants just stay the same. But yeah, I have like 3 or 4 pair of pants that fit me. When my dad passed away, I actually inherited a couple pairs of pants from him. I mean, that's how it goes for me. I don't buy pants. I inherit them. God dang it. My favorite pair of pants is this pair of Maurice's sweatpants that I inherited when my neighbor died. Her daughter gave me a box of her clothes. Half my below the waist wardrobe I have gotten from people who passed away. That's awful. Oh, they came from Maurice's, though. I'm going to go to a Maurice's and actually physically try on clothes. I really do. I love Maurice's clothes. Going places is really hard for me. Stores are not handicap accessible. I can't walk the distance from the front of the stores to the back of the stores where the fitting rooms typically are. So I have to use my wheelchair. And they are not handicap friendly, especially not clothing stores where they have racks and racks so close to each other that I don't know, the plus section, the plus size section, the racks are so close to each other, the plus size people can't fit through them, much less in a wheelchair. The workers are always so apologetic, but that doesn't help me. It only makes me feel worse. But they know that they have 50 square feet of room for 45 square feet of clothing racks. It doesn't leave much walking room. Hello, Mortimer Duke. Oh, well, I really hope you guys have enjoyed my embarrassing stories. I'm gonna log off now. Thanks, it's Amazon. The one place I can get clothes that work for me. They don't have a lot to choose from for lingerie. They really don't. I've looked for actual lingerie stores, and they cater to the dancing scene. You will never catch me on a pole. Never. So, yeah, buying clothes from them is not exactly an option. I miss the stuff my mom had. She had these gorgeous gowns, like to the floor, satin gowns. They were lacy on top. Now everything is see-through mesh. And why did I just go fuzzy? My camera went fuzzy. Yeah, now everything is see-through mesh. Nobody wants to see through that. Like, I don't want to wear that. I don't feel good in that. No. Snitch is doing really well, except for Earl is jealous, I'm sure. And so is Billy. Tiny Kitten just straight up don't like him. He's like the sweetest cat in the world. He really is. He's a grandpa. He is so old, you can tell. And I just adore him. I love him so much. He's so cuddly. And he lays beside me on the bed at night. And Billy sleeps on my chest. Earl sleeps like between my feet. She takes up the longest part of this other side of the bed, you know. Sometimes the bed, like, it auto adjusts, you know. So if the air things kick in, Ava gets scared and she'll like jump and then like lay on me and like slide off of me. So she's as close as she could possibly be. But yeah, Snitch is like he'll sleep at my side with my hand on him. But now Earl, when Snitch is in the window, Earl will run up to him and you can just see Earl's paw. Like he's looking at him, and then all of a sudden you see Earl's paw just slowly rising and you hear, "No! Earl! Earl! No! No!" I don't think there's claws involved. But there's definitely a thud, 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 thud with me in the background. Billy just does this, like, demonic growl at him until he moves. Tiny Kitten just straight up round his attack. If he don't move his fuzzy little butt out the way, he's gonna get it from Tiny Kitten. I am sorry, honey, I have not. I will make sure to I am the worst email person ever. I really am. I'm terrible with my email. Like, Mr. Beast could send me a collab email and I'd like not see it for months. I'm gonna lose out big someday, guys. I'm telling you. Hello, Manny. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, I sang something similar. I do. I say so. And my vote counts too. I don't think that was the next line, but it was up there. It was up there. Was that the song even? I don't know if that was even the right song. It might have been. I don't know. The only part of that song that I know is "Wake Up Little Susie" because of the story my grandma told. Hey, Manny. Want a screw? I saw this on the floor when I put the others away. I've been meaning to pick it up so that my foot doesn't find it, because you know the animals are going to knock it all over the place, and then my foot will find it. So thanks, Manny. I knew I needed to pick this up. Hello, Lisette. Oh, he's the best. He really is. He's the absolute best. Just don't tell his wife he was over here. The lengths that poor guy has to go through to be able to come over to this house is insane. Like, they've got a Ring camera. I didn't know how bad it was. They've got a Ring camera. And he came over and hung out one day. We collect coins. we're into the same types of stuff on videos and internet. Like, he's my best friend in real life. Like, he's a great human. He fixes stuff. Like, he comes over here just to fix crap for me. Like, because he's a tinkerer and I am not engineerically inclined. So anyways, after he leaves one day, I go to take Ava out, like, I don't know, within 5 minutes, right? And I see him coming down his driveway. And I'm like, howdy, neighbor. Like, and I know he's got a Ring camera, and I figured it out. He leaves out the front door, he walks around the entire block through the alley, and then comes down the alley as if he's coming back from, like, Family Dollar or the gas station or something, or went for a walk. Like, I feel so bad for him. You don't gotta listen to her. Oops, poor guy. Hello, C-Rex. All but one. Hello, Spider-Man. Oh my gosh. I've got really great neighbors, actually. I do. The gal next door that lives upstairs, she moved in with her partner while she was pregnant. She doesn't speak a lick of English, not a lick. In order to communicate with her via text, I have to put my message in English, translate it to Spanish, check it, like, then I have to copy the Spanish message, put it back into the translator to make sure that it translated what I said in the way I meant for it to say, because we've had a few times. I learned the hard way. Don't trust Google Translator. Yeah. Yeah, some of the words that are ambiguous, that have more than one meaning with the same word and same spelling, it flubs them a little. Or if it doesn't understand the word, or if there's not a translation, it makes shit up. I'm telling you, it does. You always got to double check. Why is my camera doing that? I'm not happy. Logistics, Logitech. That's the one. So anyways, moved in pregnant with her man. He was a nerd, like, dork. His battery would die on his vehicle all the time. He did not know how to use jumper cables, like, not at all. I'd be sitting here and he would just open the hood and stand there with the hood open until I noticed him. And then I would open the window and I'd say, La Batteria, see, coming. And then I would go jump his vehicle for him. That happened multiple times. She had the baby, and within a few weeks, he left. Just left. He found another woman. And I'm like, who does that? So she and I have gotten closer because she needs rides places, and now she's, like, got a friend staying with her, and the friend needs rides places. But she is such a sweetheart. She really is. She is super, super sweet. It's terrible trying to communicate with her, but she is so sweet. And she did not deserve that. Like, that was trash. She did not deserve that at all. The neighbor downstairs, they have 2 kids now, and they do fires outside. So my ramp that got dismantled and left in my yard, that some guy that saw sits hauling away for me in like trailer loads full. The husband guy, he clearly, here's the thing. I know their animals' names. I can tell you every one of their dogs' names and cats' names. The people, not so much. The kids, I know the kids. But not the grown-ups. But the husband, he came over and he took some of the ramp back to burn it for their fire pits. So I really like them. Yeah. I got great neighbors. I really do. And then the one on the other side of me, she and I, we've been close for a long time. So she's the one who gave me her dead mom's clothes. I love her. I do. No, 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 no. I would hear it. I would hear it. Oh, thank you so much, Spidey. I love you. That's why you're my brother. No, that's a Family Dollar thing. I have seen that at Family Dollar. Like, I'm not kidding you, dude with like sores on his arms. He's all like itchy in the aisles. And he literally just takes his pants off and puts another pair on right in the aisle next to me. I'm like, okay, then we're doing that now. Society be damned. It's not you, sir. It's society. Yeah. Oh, Madison is terrible. I told you guys about the time I got locked in Best Buy's bathroom because I was in my wheelchair and there was not enough clearance for my legs to get out. They barely got in, but I had to pee so bad that I didn't care. I was going to try it. I winged it. That was a bad night. That was a bad night, especially because they wouldn't answer the phones because it was so close to closing time. And I had to wait for a manager whistling on his way to take a whiz to pass by and hear me going, "Sir, sir, can you help me?" Me either. I never do. My neighbor found one of the packages that I had opened, and I had set it aside because it did not fit. I'm freaking with the cats. I can't even remember what I was doing. The cats needed something. I'm facing the other wall, and I hear, "Arr, that got me an eye patch." I had not tried them on because the top part didn't fit, but he did not know that. Oh my gosh. Hello, Dark Zoomy. Let's see. What would hoe be in the alien term? We gotta think of something. Like what defines hoe in alien terms? Other than the 6 breastises. That kind of defines it. Oh, I don't know what's up with my camera tonight. It's all messy. I don't like it. It's got that big old streak right there that I can't get off. Hold up. I have a microfiber cloth. And Q-Madix smudge-free device cleaning foam. This stuff, it's intended for phones, but it works on any electronic, and it is awesome. I've had this for a long time. Oh, whoops. And now I have little floaties all over my desk. Hold up. Make you guys shine like the beautiful stars you are. We good? We good now? I think that smudgy smear was what was causing it to go in and out of focus. Pretty sure about that. Because it's not supposed to do that. Oh, I gotta fix it. What's that thick stuff around here? I love you guys so much. I am so far behind, man. Hello, Fuzzy Pug. Oh, I'm just gonna zoom now. Hello, Jim Tyke. Chad, that's incel talk. Your looks maxing tonight. I did not. Where's Catherine Gaston? She's supposed to hand out the depends. We came up with this years ago, actually. That was her job. It does. It's amazing. I don't even know if it's still sold, because like I said, I got this in like 2014 when I worked for the phone company that I worked for, and we highly promoted it back then. And I gave it to my mom and dad to clean, and it sat in a cupboard until they died. And then I was like, yoink. I haven't bought this stuff forever. But yeah, it works. It works on all electronics. It comes out like a foam, and then it leaves no smudges. It even came with this, I don't know, what is this, a terry cloth? It's not microfiber. Oh, it is a microfiber, but it's a satiny, silky, soft microfiber. Like, it doesn't have that, microfiber normally has that one side of, like, cat tongue, and the other side is smooth. No, this is both smooth, but it does a bang-up job. Q-Madix smudge-free device cleaning foam. It's amazing. I love this stuff. And do you see a halo-y streak anymore? No. No, it fixed it. It's kind of like that, but thicker and more clothier. This stream is not sponsored by Q-Madix device cleaning foam. I don't even know if you can still get it, guys. It was great stuff, though. Oh man, y'all remember the window cleaner that came in a spray can? That was foam. It's kind of like that. I love that. That is the best glass cleaner. I don't even know what that stuff's called. Yes, more clothier. It's not like satin, like, oh, I'm sure I got some somewhere. You know when you get those screen protectors for your devices, they always come with that little swatch of cloth that there's nothing to it, but it's just soft and satin, and it's supposed to clean, but I mean, it really doesn't. It just kind of moves the dirt around. It doesn't collect any of it. Oh, my hair's a mess tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Nothing. No drink, no smoke. 4 hours of sleep. After a night of 2 hours of sleep. Might have a little something to do with it, right, Ma? I'm just in a good one. My gosh. I'm looking at Jerry's message while I'm trying to talk. I'm just in a good mood. And Jerry was saying spray window cleaner, and as words were coming out of my mouth, my eyes hit window and started saying that instead. I'm just in a good window tonight. It smells better, too. It smells better than Windex. I am a mess. I'm always a beautiful mess. I am. Yes, I don't know why my hair is so frizzy, stringy. Probably, I bought this stuff called dry shampoo from Five Below. That might be why. I used it. I did shower yesterday, but my hair does not think so. And I used that dry shampoo, and it makes it look awful. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I kind of want to go stick my head in the sink. That looks bad. Yeah, it's hard to find. I think it smells better than all the other cleaners. Just like Dawn dish soap, like the original. I can't stand the smell of it if it gets left in the sink. It just smells terrible, especially with metal. If you like put it on sheet trays and things, it doesn't smell good. Like the next day it's bad. But the Dawn Power Wash that you can get, that smells amazing. I love that smell. I will keep getting the Dawn Power Wash, like, spray bottle because it smells so much better than the original Dawn. Blow off foaming cleaner. I die on Fabuloso. Oh, asthma attack. No air for April. It's almost as bad as when I smell stink bug. Yeah. Bad allergy. I had a cleaning lady that used it on the house prior to my house, and she'd come over here smelling like it, and I'd be like, please turn around, go, bye. Didn't need you today. No, I'd actually just go in the other room, but but will it smell the same? I know, see? You're my brother. You're my brother. Ooh. See, this is why I have you guys. You guys got to tell me where to get the good stuff. All right. I actually do have court tonight. I really do. I didn't come on here just to chat. Although that is the best part. It's your guys' fault. It's your guys' fault. You guys keep doing this to me. You keep saying things that get me to say things. So all of the people that complain about this section of the stream at the beginning, like every once in a while I'll get comments that'll be like, stream starts at 38:25. You're welcome, bro. Just thank you so much. You guys are here for it. Is that the one in California? Is that the one that's supposed to cause California to just tip off into the ocean someday? Yeah. Those of you that are still around. When you get their paper bags in the local paper with the all you can fit in this bag, 10% off. And then you just put the bag in the cupboard. I've never used their bag for anything other than book covers in high school. Beachfront Reno. All right, guys. I know I put some good stuff together. I don't even remember. I know some of it's in Michigan, some of it's in Washington. You know, the usual. But I did kind of mix up the judges tonight a little bit. We got some good stuff.
On the record in state of Michigan versus Andre Flint, 2600171, apply.
Ross Martinez for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Gidget James on behalf of Andre Flint. He's at the podium to my left.
You are Andre Flint.
Yes.
When we were previously together, Mr. Flint entered a plea to count 5 with an agreement to forfeit the firearm and dismissal of counts 1 through 4. We have a pre-sentence report today with some recommendations. Both counsel had a chance to review it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are we? Okay, I think that my copy is missing page 2.
Oh,
I
I have page 2 here. It's not a lot if you want to just read
would
it.
love a chance to quickly peruse page 2.
Yeah, take a look. It's not a lot on page 2. Most of it was on page 1. The pages got put together when it got
Make sure I
emailed.
have to.
So I'm guessing-
Take a peek too.
I'm guessing the scan was missing a page when it got sent over. Okay, now that we had a chance to look at all of the report, additions, deletions, corrections, Mr. Martinez,
Not for people.
Ms. James,
None, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, do you have a position on sentence today?
Yes, Your Honor, I do believe that term of probation is appropriate. I think that the recommendation of a firearm safety course does seem appropriate, and I think that given the fact that the probation officer indicates that he lacks remorse for his actions and doesn't seem to recognize the wrongdoing, I think that moral recognition therapy would be appropriate.
Ms. James.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, I'm gonna first start off by acknowledging how serious this is. I have discussed this on more than one occasion with Mr. Flint. Things certainly could have turned out worse on the night in question than they did. I will say that I don't agree with the statement that he's not remorseful because everybody shows remorse in a different way. Some people don't even exhibit it outward. And I can tell you after several conversations with him in office, in person, that and texts that I've seen to his wife, he is definitely remorseful. Wish he would have handled this different. He didn't, but I do disagree that he is not remorseful. At the same time, I do believe that this is a one-off for Mr. Flint. I think that that is supported by his lack of criminal history. He has absolutely no criminal history. He's 34 years old. He works full-time, 40+ hours a week at General Motors. He has held the same job at General Motors for 11 years. Again, I think that that is a true representation of who Mr. Flint is. He's a husband, he's a father, he's expecting a child, soon. I'm certainly not trying to downplay or diminish his actions on the night in question, but rather to say that I think that what he did was make an extremely poor judgment, use extremely poor judgment on the night in question, can't get angry and fire off firearms. Totally understand that, have discussed that with him. He has agreed with me on that. I'm respectfully going to ask the court to adopt the recommendation. But Judge, I do have 2 exceptions to the bond conditions. I would ask the
It wouldn't be
judge,
bond anymore, it'll be sentence.
I mean, to probation. I have 2
Okay.
conditions to the bond, to the probation conditions. I'm going to ask Your Honor, with the exception of him not being allowed to drink alcohol and submitting to random PBTs. Judge, I say that because alcohol was not an issue on the night in question. In fact, the police did give him a PBT on the night in question. The report indicates no issues with alcohol. I say that because he's a 34-year-old man, no criminal history. He works a very physical job, 40+ hours a week on the assembly line at General Motors. I see no issue if he gets off work, one random day through the week or on the weekend and wants to have a beer. They're celebrating their 1st-year wedding anniversary. His wife is seated out there. They were hoping to go out to dinner and have a glass of wine.
And that is a privilege that you lose when you indiscriminately fire firearms off into the air when you're mad. You don't get special privileges when you do something stupid like that. And very, very, very rarely have I ever heard no drink not to be a condition of probation. No drink, no illegal drugs. Sometimes they will bend on the marijuana if you have a medical marijuana card, but only if you have it from a prescribing doctor and not from the Mr. Green's THC store down the street.
Well, he was, I know that, but again, I don't think it's an unreasonable request. With that being said, I do think all the other recommendations are appropriate. So I'd ask Your Honor to adopt the recommendation with those 2 exceptions.
Mr. Flint, what would you like to say today?
I want to say that I'm sorry. It was a mistake. The bullet could have came down and hit anybody. Anybody could have got injured, and just it was a mistake, and I'm sorry.
So because I sit here, I hear cases about people just shooting off firearms all the time. And sometimes someone gets hit and sometimes someone doesn't, but it makes it a whole lot scarier and more dangerous for all of us to worry about walking through the community and people just popping off whenever. Like, changing our community means all of us have to make the decision not to be part of that behavior, part of that culture. So I can't take firearm use and abuse of firearms lightly, because yesterday I was hearing cases about guns. Like, it just keeps going. And so we all have to make the choice that we're not going to be part of it, and that we're going to not be part of the problem if we're not part of the solution. The Rodriguez's are not here.
Don't believe so.
Ms. James, I hear what you said about alcohol use, but I sort of sitting here considering the fact that it was Mr. Flint's behavior that brought him onto probation, and for a time he's agreed to lose some of his liberty in exchange for not having to serve jail for the offense that he's done. So in the interest of keeping him from getting himself in any further trouble, I'm going to still order those conditions, 8 months probation. During probation, meet with your probation agent as directed. Do not leave the state without permission from the court. Do not commit any crimes. Not have contact with the Rodriguez family, specifically Sergio and Tanya. Kendrick, Debor. I could write on here, okay, on the record in City of Lansing versus Kendrick Debor, 210317609. And you're Mr. Debor.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Debor, you're here because you continue to have unpaid fines and costs on this old case of $225. I think there was a point when you originally were sentenced that you were supposed to set up some kind of payment plan with some other matters.
That couldn't have happened. I was in prison.
Well, that was way back in 2022.
Yeah, I went straight to prison from the offense.
I said upon release. So I don't think I knew you were in prison yet, but you must have went to prison right after that. Okay. So you're out. What's the plan? Are you getting back to work or what are we doing?
The MDOC's been charging me restitution for this case. So how are you gonna charge me?
No, they can't charge you restitution for a false info. There was no restitution. It's
I
not
have the
this
paperwork
case.
sitting in my house right now.
Not this case. Maybe another case, but not this case.
I don't have any other card cases.
You may have.
I have nothing pending at all.
Pending isn't the same thing. These are old cases. Pending means undisposed.
As far as I knew, I had nothing pending.
Yeah. And this isn't a restitution case, so I don't know what you're paying on, maybe what you went to prison for, I don't know, but this one had no restitution order. So the only thing I can do for you,
Right now, it has this case
please
number.
don't talk over me, sir.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna give you two options. One is we can set up a payment arrangement. Two, I can adjourn this show cause and let you bring paperwork back with you. You said April 23rd, 8:30?
Yes.
All right, we'll get you a court notice, Mr. Debor. It'll be the only notice you receive. So hold on to it. If you forget your court date, you can always come by and ask for a new one.
Gotcha.
And then we'll see you that day. Bring all your papers with you that you think will help explain.
And don't go back to prison right away. You know, just wait until you find out which cases with which charges, with which restitution or non-restitution. You know, let them storyboard that all out for you before you catch new charges.
Okay? All right. Have that for you in just a sec.
Oh, sir, just
Don't- wait, we gotta give you a court notice. Remember, it's the only one I'm gonna give you. If you don't have it, you'll forget to come back. Hold on 1 second. Now you've got it. Elizabeth Panic. On the record in state of Michigan versus Elizabeth Panic, 2600060 apply.
Ross Martinez for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Nicole Samuel on behalf of the defendant Elizabeth Panic, who is present in the courtroom with me today.
You are Elizabeth Panic.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
Thank you. Today is the date for sentence. We were previously together. Ms. Panic entered a plea to domestic violence, 2 counts of attempted resisting, obstructing, 1 count of operating while visibly impaired. At the time, there was a sentence agreement to no further upfront jail. Today, we have a pre-sentence report with some recommendations. Council both had a chance to review it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Additions, deletions, corrections to the report.
None on behalf of the people.
I do have a minor change, Your Honor. And I'm not 100% sure what wording we would want to use, but under the employment data on page 2, it does check the employed box that she's employed full-time at CPS, and then it notes underneath that she's receiving long-term disability. I would just note that she is, it's her understanding that her employment is terminated with CPS. She is receiving long-term disability, but I don't believe that the employment opportunity is still open to her. She's been on long-term disability since late 2024.
My understanding of the disability, though, is you're still considered employed as long as you're still able to receive the disability under their policy.
Okay.
And that if she terminated her employment, she wouldn't be eligible for that insurance payment.
Okay, and that might be the case,
That
but I
might be
did just want to
right.
clarify.
I
I'm not
understood
sure.
that she was disabled.
Okay,
I read the report, so.
perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't have any other amendments.
Okay. Mr. Marchmina, you have someone here who wishes to be heard. But before I think we do that, I guess I need to get a feel for where this is going. You made a sentence agreement to no further upfront jail. The recommendation is probation. This probation cannot be served in another state. So either Ms. Panic's going to agree to complete probation here in the state of Michigan, or there may be some jail imposed, in which case she may want to withdraw her plea. So I didn't want to like take statements and all of that, and then we all stop. So have you two talked about what we're gonna do as far as sentence?
Well, we did discuss it, and I did not realize it was not possible for her to complete a Michigan probation while residing in New York. Obviously, given that the recommendation was probation, I was under the impression that the probation people did.
It is possible, like they could have been taking a child out of someone's custody and the person went batshit crazy. I knew a gal who changed linens in a nursing home, and one of the clients walked up to her and he had a habit of smacking at people like that. She put her hand up to stop him and he hyperextended her wrist and it caused like permanent damage in her arm. She developed some kind of like untreatable condition. I don't even know what the heck it was, but I can't pronounce it. But yeah, it's possible. Anything could happen. She could have slipped and fell while on the job. I ain't judging that part of it. The fact that she works for CPS and she's involved in 2 domestic violence claims, like, I'll judge that.
So there's an interstate compact that allows some probations to be transferred, but I don't know that this probation would be transferable, and she would have to be placed on probation and then get a New York court to agree to accept her under the interstate compact. And otherwise, it's not like felonies. It's completely different. And some things are not, it's at the discretion of the court whether to send it and it's whether they want to accept it. Mostly no. And if she's on probation here, if we don't transfer it, then she needs to stay here.
I guess for some reason I was under the impression that she could Zoom report to a Michigan probation from New York.
No.
All right, well now my information has been corrected, so.
And I'll just note that that was also my understanding because they checked the Zoom reporting box.
Yes, but that doesn't change the fact that being under the jurisdiction of the Michigan Court for Probation, so not a transfer of probation, means she needs to be in Michigan.
She cannot be in Michigan.
You can go talk to your client about whether she wants to be in Michigan and do probation or whether she'd rather do some kind of jail non-probationary sentence. It would probably include a short term in jail followed by submission of completion of the classes.
Would this court be willing to let us know what the jail sentence would be?
Talking 4 charges, including a crime of violence and a drunk driving, I'm thinking 14 days.
So you work for CPS and you don't know that it's not okay to drink and drive and then commit acts of domestic violence? I think it's a good thing you got let go.
If I can,
You can step outside and talk to your client.
and I will, I guess I'm just trying to get some clarity. Is there a way for me to get with probation? Is there anything I can do with probation to try to get in touch with these New York courts to see if they would be willing to transfer the probation? I just don't know how to work that on my end.
It's rarely done because usually they won't take a misdemeanor case.
I think that I would note that I hate to be this person, but in light of the charges and the conduct, if it were a straight jail sentence, I would probably request longer than 14 days.
Well, it would be jail plus submission of completion of the rehabilitative programs, but she wouldn't be on probation. So she wouldn't be reporting to a probation agent. She wouldn't have the restrictions on her travel liberties and she wouldn't be providing the testing to prove sobriety.
So
that
it
we
would be
would
jail
normally-
plus.
Plus submit
Completion of-
completion of a domestic violence class and a substance treatment class.
Would it change the court's mind at all if I let you know that she's doing both of those things currently and testing
I
in
read
New
the
York?
pre-sentence report and I saw that she was already engaged in substance treatment. I also read that she still maintains a residence here in Michigan and could return if she wanted to. So that's up to her. She came to the state of Michigan. She pled no contest to 4 charges. It started as a felony case. So she can make choices.
So I do have one question, given that it seems as though the court is willing to put her on probation. I guess my question would be, is she actually eligible to withdraw her plea if it's based on her desire to reside in New York, rather than the court's willingness to honor the sentencing agreement?
I would say, because I said me not following the sentencing agreement, it's not based on her misconduct, it's based on her residency. I think she could still withdraw.
Well, I guess it's less about you not accepting the sentence agreement, more of her not accepting a Michigan probation.
If I may note, she cannot, like, her residence in Michigan is the home that she shares with the victim. And he's residing there. She cannot legally reside there. And she also has full physical custody of the children who are enrolled in New York schools. So it's not just as easy as her just returning to this home in Michigan. So I am not trying to be difficult to this court at all, but it's not just her choosing to not live in the home that she.
You may not be trying to be difficult, but your client has sure made a mess of this whole ordeal. Why did she enroll her children in New York right away without the assurance that she was done with the Michigan court case? That was dumb.
She has here. If anything, that's a major stressor on her end, because she would like to figure out how to sell this home. They were working mutually with a realtor, but they haven't been able to communicate on that note. So it is a little bit more convoluted than that, just so the court understands.
Understood.
I guess I don't think she has a choice to do probation in Michigan. I guess what I'm saying, she doesn't have a residence here, and she doesn't have any family here she could stay with. She doesn't
Okay,
have
so
anywhere
then
to
the
live.
choices that remain are to accept the sentence that I have stated, sort of in the nature of a Cobb's, or withdraw her plea and proceed to preliminary exam.
Maybe we take a quick recess so I can chat with my client.
Yes, and I have offered that, and yes,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome to take the time you need, of
Thank you.
course. I know that that is a complicated decision.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Oakes, is your client with you, or is he logging in separately?
Client is sitting in the courtroom.
Oh, that's weird. Why would you do that? Why would you not be here with him in person?
Inability to, Your Honor.
You know, the court rule for circuit court says if your client comes in person, you're required to come in person. I guess you're
Okay.
lucky you're in district court. I guess I can let this go today. I generally, if the client's here in person, make the lawyer come in person.
You're not starting off on a good foot with the judge there, Mr. Oakes. Billy, please don't kick stuff off of here. Please put the tail away.
Do you need to speak to the prosecutor before I call your case, Mr. Oakes? Mr. Oakes?
No.
No? Okay. Mr. Wesley, come on up to the defense table. We'll call your case. On the record in state of Michigan versus Jeremy Wesley, 2600313FY.
Ross Marchvino for the people.
Michael Oakes appearing on behalf of Mr. Wesley, who's present in court.
And you, sir, are you Jeremy Wesley?
Yes.
Today's the date for probable cause conference. We have a preliminary exam set for next week. Nope, it's set for 2 weeks out on April 9. Have we decided what we're doing about that exam?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I'm still waiting for discovery. I submitted a discovery request, and I still have yet to receive the items that I requested from the prosecutor's office.
Yes, Your Honor, we did receive, frankly, an unprecedented discovery request. He's essentially asking for a CV from a dog that did an open air sniff. In order to comply with the request, Sergeant Maycumber, luckily I've been able to speak with Sergeant Maycumber's wife about this. I happen to know her. Indicated that Mr. Oates wants records from every single training session this dog has ever had. It sounds like Sergeant Maycumber will need to go in and individually print every single one of those. And they do 8-hour training sessions twice a month and have been doing so for years. He wants records of every single time this dog has been deployed, and Sergeant Maycumber will need to find the reports from every single case in which he's ever deployed this dog and print those. I honestly don't think that 2 weeks is going to be enough time to comply with this discovery request. I think that we might need an additional 2 weeks. Mike, it just sounds
Well,
like.
it wouldn't be 2 weeks though, because you had this request last week, so you'd have 3 weeks, right?
My understanding is that from today, 2 weeks likely will not be enough time.
But this request was made last week in front of Judge Simmons. She put it
Yes.
down.
That is correct. I did not receive a response from this discovery request until this week. I don't know what the situation is with that, but the information I have is that standing before you right now, 2 weeks is not going to be enough time to produce the exorbitant records on this dog that are being requested.
Holy cows. I think that there is some type of an objection that should be made for such an in-depth, unnecessary records request. You know what this is? This is Mr. Oakes attempting to overwhelm the other side, the prosecution, so that they can't comply because, oh my goodness, that's a lot of crap to have to come up with on the fly, or even within 2 weeks. I know I couldn't do it. Hell, I'm still working on getting all my tax stuff together. And I started that before the year even ended. Mr. Oakes is just trying to overwhelm the prosecution so that he can win the case because he has nothing else to win it with. He's the worst kind of attorney.
Mr. Oakes, do you have any opposition to postponing the exam further?
I do not, and I've already discussed same with my client.
April 24, 9 a.m.
I will not be available on April 24th, Your Honor. I have a vacation scheduled. If May 1st works, that'll work.
Nope, I'm not here May 1st, so that does not work. You already reset 2 to that day. Is that gonna be a problem? Oh, May 8 at 10:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Wesley, please remember that you're still on bond until we get this settled. One of the bond conditions was to report to pretrial services. You've been in touch? Okay, as often as they tell you to is what you need to do. Show up for court. We're gonna give you a new court notice. Don't leave the state without permission. Don't commit crimes. No firearms, dangerous weapons, alcohol, marijuana, illegal drugs. Anything else for Mr. Wesley today?
Nothing for the people.
No.
Okay, we're gonna print up that court notice for you in just a moment. Mr. Wesley, you're all set. Goodbye, Mr. Oakes.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Mr. Oakes. He didn't even get the friendly goodbye. You got the get the hell out of here goodbye. Now, is that man wearing Gucci to court? Is that the Gucci logo? Is he really? Sir, that does not impress the judge. I guarantee you just look like a bigger douchebag than you are.
This is Shane Scruggs, 2600473FY.
Ross Marchmina here for the people.
The court pleases. Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Altuck appearing on behalf of the defendant who is seated to my right.
Thank you. And are you Shane Scruggs?
Yes.
Today's the date scheduled for preliminary exam. What's our status?
Your Honor, at this time, the people are prepared to move forward with the examination, but it's my understanding the defense will be making a motion to adjourn.
Yes, Judge, apologies. As I was going through the videos, preparing for the exam today, last night, and they are voluminous. There are, I don't know, probably 20 videos altogether between the body cams, the back seat views, and also the dash cams. And I realized that we did not receive the dash cam video from the main original vehicle that was in pursuit of my client, which is the entire basis for the fleeing and eluding charge. And I probably should have caught it earlier, but it was just due to the volume. We also got some other ones that weren't related to this case, which I think confused things a little bit further, but
It is Gucci. It is Gucci. Black and white Gucci, I don't know, suit liner? What the hell is that even? It's not a tie, but it flaps like one. I don't get it. Just trying to look special.
I was not able to catch it until I started to prepare this week.
Had this, it's 22 days since I last saw you.
Yes, Judge, you're right.
That's a long time.
It is a long time, and unfortunately, it's been a busy month. We had some personnel changes at my office, not the court's fault, but I've been playing catch up on a lot of cases in the last month. So,
Mr. Marchmino, do you have that video that's being requested?
This was brought to my attention today, and I just now in the hallway pulled up Axon, and it looks like this particular fleet cam somehow fell through the cracks with getting onto Axon. I actually just talked to the officer, and he was under the impression that it was loaded. He was reviewing it earlier today. I don't know how it fell through the cracks, so we'll make sure it gets loaded into Axon. I know sometimes the officer will do what they need to load the video, and then something happens with the intermediary steps. It results in us not getting it, which results in them not getting it.
That was a really long answer to, I do not have the video. So are you opposing their motion to adjourn?
Yes, Your Honor, because I understand what they're saying, but obviously it has been several weeks since the probable cause conference, and we do have witnesses here and are prepared to proceed.
Yeah, but you agree that that's video is going to be a key piece of evidence.
I do agree with that, yes.
Sure. I'll grant the adjournment.
thank you, Judge.
I'm looking at April 10 in the morning.
Looks like I have a jury trial that morning in Eaton County, Judge.
Those are usually certain dates, aren't they?
Yeah, and this one's going.
So you're saying.
Well, that was the last word from my client. I do have the Monday morning, the 13th free.
So Monday, wow.
Looks like the 15th, Wednesday.
So you don't want to step in here on a Wednesday, I can promise you that. That's landlord tenant day. The courtroom is busy.
Friday, the 17th is good, if that's acceptable to my client. I
They're
haven't,
making me attend a chief judge thing.
oh,
Hang on. What about April 16th?
yes, I can make that happen. Looks like I'm free all day.
All right, I want to try for like 10:30, April 16th.
Yes, yeah, my client's fine with that, Judge, too. Thank you.
Mr. Scruggs, we're gonna print you a new court notice. Remember, you're still on bond, so keep reporting to pre-trial, follow all the rules you got, show up for court. Don't leave the state without permission, don't commit crimes, no firearms, dangerous weapons, alcohol, marijuana, illegal drugs, or assaultive behavior.
April 16th. So he just wants it before 420.
Anything else?
No, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are going to double check. I gotta see now, because I did not know that the Gucci logos and the Chanel logos were so close to each other. They're the only difference. Hold up. Okay. Is there a way I can zoom in here? No. Nope, it won't. Nope. Cancel. Okay. It is either Gucci or Chanel. I believe it's Gucci because Chanel is a very clean C in a back C. Gucci had like lines, I guess, in it. Cause this is Chanel, and the mock-up of them is like the same. You can tell I don't know. They're either related as a company or they hired the same marketing team. I don't get it. But I'm thinking that was Gucci. And I'm thinking he thinks he's a big deal. All right, hold up. Now that was Judge Buchanan. Next, we're going to Judge McGinnis. Come on. There we go. Stop there.
State without permission, don't commit crimes, no firearms, dangerous weapons, alcohol, marijuana, illegal drugs, or assaultive behavior. Anything else?
No, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see here, 24004578. This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Aaliyah Moore.
Nancy Plaster on behalf of Ms. Moore, who's approaching.
Are you still using your mailing address on St. Louis Street in Detroit? Today is a date and time that's been scheduled for a violation of probation arraignment. We are here today to address 2 technical violations, 4 and 5, and 1 non-technical violation. That would be number 3, an allegation of new charges. Did you review each of these allegations with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
And does she understand that she has the right to have a hearing?
She understands she's going to waive her right to a hearing, plead guilty to all 3 of the violations with explanation.
All right, Ms. Moore, do you understand that because we've got a non-technical violation here, which is one in which you were ticketed for a new offense, there is no cap to the jail time? So retail fraud in the 2nd degree carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in the Oakland County Jail, and you could be subjected to that on the violations. You also understand that because you're here for violations that could result in jail time, you have the right to have a hearing if you want to contest the allegations. And at that hearing, the prosecutor has to come to court and present evidence to establish to a preponderance of the evidence standard that you violated probation. Do you understand that you have the right to a hearing?
Yeah.
Is it true that you're waiving your right to have a hearing today and pleading guilty?
Yes.
So let's talk about non-technical violation number 3. So this means the 3rd time that you've been ticketed for a new offense or charge while on probation. This one comes from something that was alleged to have occurred in the city of Detroit on December 8th, 2025, where you're charged with no operator's license on person. How do you plead to the allegation that you were charged with a new offense? There's an allegation that you failed to complete a multi-day theft education program or impulse control program within 60 days. How do you plead?
What's actually the specific program they wanted her to go to? She'll plead guilty that she didn't do the program as recommended by the probation department.
Okay, is that true?
Yes.
And then an allegation that you failed to resolve your outstanding bench warrants. How do you plead? Court will accept your pleas. They appear to be freely given. Did you review the report that was generated by the PO, Ms. Arapi?
We did.
And what, if anything, would you like to say on your client's behalf?
She says there is a court date on March 29th in Detroit. She is continuing to state that she was not driving that day.
Well, I don't really want her to say anything about
Okay,
the allegation,
gotcha.
and she has a court date on April 29th.
Correct. All right, and she did do a program, but it wasn't the one recommended. She did a 2-day program. She says they're online, 8 hours each, and she paid $300 for it, but it was not the one that the 52 for court recognizes apparently.
Why did she do something she didn't have to do when she could have just done what she was supposed to do? Oh, because she doesn't take this seriously. That's why.
PO wouldn't accept that information. And unfortunately, her phone is broken. She doesn't have proof with her today that in fact she attended that program. And then finally, with respect to Warren, she had paid a bond back in December, and she had thought that that warrant was included in that bond. So she's not certain why that warrant is still there. We did look at the website this morning, and it shows 3 matters with balances owing. So I'm assuming the one that there's actually 3 cases with balances owing. The one that has the warrant is probably a misdemeanor. Oh, it is a misdemeanor, I see. She just got a job at a nursing home. It's a pretty good job. She did talk to her employers about having to come to court today. If she gets anything over 7 days, she'll lose that job. Her mother is still in the hospital from December. She says she could probably come up with half of what she owes today.
Anyone who needs anger management classes does not need to start working in a nursing home.
Correct? She says she could come up with the whole thing. We're asking either you consider no jail time or not more than 7 days so she can remain employed.
Anything that you'd like to say on your own behalf? Okay, well, you've been on probation with the court since May of last year. You had a 16-month reporting probation term. We had a number of violations right out of the gate, and if I remember correctly, I feel like they took a long time to resolve. I think at some point you might have even gotten an extension of probation, but the fact that we're now talking about our third non-technical violation, which is new tickets, new criminal activity that's alleged to have occurred while on probation, is not a good sign that probation is working in the manner that it is supposed to be working. You're telling me certain things here as an explanation for some of the issues that you accepted responsibility for, but I have no way of verifying anything. I don't know that you've completed a program. I don't know why you would have completed a program that was not offered to you as one that the court accepts. I don't know what happened if you thought you paid money to the 37th and it didn't clear the bench warrant, and you're not really producing anything that would give me a better understanding of why these things are not done. But I think at this point, it would be a reasonable outcome to discharge you from probation as a violator because of the issues that we've had and the ongoing issues where you're getting new criminal charges or tickets that you have to address. I think that it would be a reasonable sentence today to impose of 20 days in jail with no credit. I do take into consideration the fact that you did serve 10 days and were given credit for the 10 days at the time of sentencing. But that is going to be the sentence today. You still have a balance that's due and owing. I do believe you've been making payments. You'll have the ability to continue to make payments, and there may be an adjustment because some of this is probably oversight fees for probation that you won't be supervised for these months. So you don't have to pay for supervision. But once you complete your jail sentence, your probationary term is completely over, and you'll just make arrangements to pay the balance, including making payments once they've been adjusted for the changes in the oversight fees. So that's the sentence of the court. You have to have a seat over here, and they're going to come down and pick you up so that you can complete your sentence.
Right now, you're continuing on payment.
All right, ma'am, I have to have you come over here and have a seat in the box.
Okay, my coat over there.
That's fine. You can grab your coat.
That little conversation that you just saw a teeny little snippet of It went on for several minutes. She procrastinated moving away from the podium to go sit in the jury box and wait for them to come get her and take her to jail. And then when she gets her coat, she also stood there like, someone save me, something's gotta happen, someone is gonna come and rescue me from my own consequences of my bad actions.
Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. You have all the people you need?
As far as I'm concerned, yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is in the District Court of Ellis County, Kansas, case number 26 CV4. This is Raymond Martinez Jr. versus Kansas Department of Revenue. May I have an announcement of appearances, please?
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. The petitioner, Ramon Martinez, appears via Zoom and with his retained attorney, Robert Anderson Jr. of Hays, Kansas.
Ready for defendant.
Mr. Anderson, you filed a motion appealing the KDR administrative hearing. Any announcements before we get started?
I suppose sometimes this can be helpful just to narrow kind of the scope of what I'm challenging here is the focus here would be whether or not the certifying officer had reasonable grounds to believe the licensee was operating the motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol. So the two moments in time I'm going to want to focus on ultimately are the moment when the licensee was asked to step out of the vehicle for roadside impairment testing, and then of course the moment he was arrested. And what facts the officer had for those moments.
All right, let's just be honest about something here. Yes, the officer has extensive training in detecting someone who is impaired when they're driving, okay? But any dope could do it. Seriously, my cats could identify a drunk when they're pulled over on the side of the road. It's not that hard. Like, there are certain characteristics and they're easily noticeable, but the only people who think you can't notice them are drunk drivers and defense attorneys.
Bradley.
None, Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Anderson.
So petitioner would call Officer Jones.
I'm here.
Officer Jones, would you raise your right hand, please? You solemnly swear and or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the penalties for perjury in the state of Kansas.
I do.
Go ahead, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Jones, I guess just to cover a larger scope of things here, we're here to discuss an incident occurring on September 21st, 2025, involving Ramon Martinez, Kansas DL number K04233048, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And on that date, September 21st of 2025, you observed the defendant drive through a stop sign without stopping, correct?
Among another infraction, but yes.
And well, okay, well, what was the other infraction?
I don't believe it was cited for exhibition of speed.
Okay, in other words, he was, I guess, accelerating at kind of a high rate of speed and went through a stop sign without stopping.
Correct.
And this happened like right in front of you.
Yes. Had I not stopped, it would have caused an accident.
Okay. And so you're driving forward. He blows through the stop sign right in front of you, and you activate your emergency lights right away, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Martinez, he responds to your emergency lights quickly, correct?
I would say that he pulled over within reasonable distance, yes.
Yeah, I guess what I meant by that was, as indicated by his brake lights, he noticed you had activated your emergency lights pretty much right away.
That's fair to say, yes.
And then he was pulled over before the end of that block.
Correct.
No issues with the way he responded to your emergency lights, correct?
No.
And in fact, he even used his turn signal to indicate that he was pulling over.
I believe he did.
From the moment you activated your emergency lights and siren until the time, his brake lights came on, that was like maybe a second or two.
I would have to rewatch the video to give you that exact time. I would say that that's probably an approximate time close enough to say yes.
Okay. But in fact, you even indicated reaction time to emergency equipment was good, correct? On your, I guess, Hayes Police Department alcohol/drug influence report?
Yes.
All right. And likewise, the way in which he stopped his vehicle, where he stopped it, those sorts of things, that was all proper.
He did not stop his vehicle in a legally parked position. No.
So the street where he pulled over, where this, I guess, traffic stop was initiated, this is an area of town where there's a roadway, and then to the right of the roadway is like parking stalls.
Correct.
And those are kind of at a some angle to what would be the normal direction of travel on that road, correct?
Correct.
So he didn't pull into a parking stall, but he pulled, kind of parallel to the curb that runs along all of those parking stalls.
A ways away from the curb, but he probably a car length width away from the curb and blocking 2 or 3 parking stalls. But yes,
Okay.
Parked horizontally to the designated parking stalls, I guess is how it should be said.
Okay, so you testified he didn't park legally, but you indicated in your, Hayes Police Department alcohol/drug influence report that he parked or stopped his vehicle properly. So good enough, I guess, right?
Yeah. When reviewing it, he was out of the roadway, not parked properly. That being said, upon review of the video, probably could have said no on that, but giving the benefit of the doubt now to him, it is marked that way on my report. That is correct.
Okay. So ultimately, you had him pulled over and you made contact with him, correct?
I did.
And also in the vehicle was a female passenger.
I do believe so.
Okay. Did you request that he provide to you his license, registration, insurance, things like that?
I did.
And did he fumble getting those things for you?
I do not believe he fumbled getting his driver's license or anything.
In speaking with Mr. Martinez, you had noticed an odor of alcohol emanating from the vehicle, correct?
Well, I would say that I noticed the odor of alcohol coming from the vehicle, but while talking to him would lead me to believe it was coming from him.
Now, when talking to him, prior to him coming out of the vehicle or while he's in the vehicle, when you say while talking to him, you noticed the odor of alcohol coming from him.
Yeah.
Did that happen while you were at the vehicle?
While at the window.
Okay.
The odor of alcohol could be smelled coming out of the vehicle while he's talking to me, looking at me.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It does, yes. But that odor of alcohol was faint, correct?
From inside the vehicle, yes, it was.
All right.
Because I was standing outside where there was a slight breeze, very slight.
Okay.
Notice the officer trying to make sure the attorney can't use that against him.
Did you do anything at all prior to Mr. Martinez being asked to exit the vehicle? Did you do anything at all to, I guess, determine whether or not the odor of alcohol could have been coming from the female passenger or something else?
I believe I asked him if he had had anything to drink, and I think he told me no. I
Okay.
think he indicated that he was on his way home or to his hotel room or Taco Bell. I don't remember what it was, something like that.
Okay. And again, we're still prior to the point where you had asked him to step out of the vehicle. You also noticed that his eyes were bloodshot and or watery, correct?
Correct.
Would you, are you aware, would you agree that the National Highway Traffic Safety Guidelines have removed glassy eyes, bloodshot and glassy eyes as an indicator of impairment? They removed that back in 1997.
I was made aware of that, that the KLETC still trains that as one thing to be observant of.
Okay. You've already covered this, but I want to just make sure we're clear on it. Based on the faint odor of alcohol and the bloodshot, watery eyes, you then asked Mr. Martinez if he had been drinking that night, correct?
Correct.
And he denied having consumed any alcohol.
I do believe I would have to check back in my report to get, I believe I might have wrote it down as his statement in my narrative.
Okay. So do you need to check your report, or do you believe he denied the consumption of alcohol?
Would you mind if I checked my report to get an exact reference on that?
I don't mind, but Your Honor, may he?
If it'll help you refresh your recollection, review it, and then look up when you're ready to testify.
All right. Thank you. I'm ready, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead, Mr.
I
Anderson.
think so. I think the question generally was, you asked him if he had been drinking, and he denied drinking, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Throughout your interactions with the defendant up to this point, Mr. Martinez's attitude was cooperative and polite.
Correct.
And his actions were normal. And what I mean by that is he wasn't hiccuping, belching, vomiting, or like inexplicably laughing or speaking to himself, anything like that, correct?
I would say his actions were, yes, correct.
Okay. And his speech was not slurred or mumbled.
No. Not more so than out of the normal.
Okay. He wasn't using profanity.
No.
The volume at which he was speaking to you was within a normal range, not too loud, not too soft.
Correct.
Nothing about his like appearance, his clothing would indicate a person being impaired under the influence of alcohol to a degree that they were incapable of safely operating the vehicle, right?
No, attorney sir. He dressed drunk that night. I knew it the moment I asked him to step out of the vehicle. His dark pants clashed with the dark shirt he was wearing. Are you kidding me? He wasn't dressed in a manner that would make you assume he was impaired? The hell?
No. One of the other indicators inside the vehicle was it was a pretty cool night that night. He was running the air conditioner and sweating profusely.
Okay, so did that indicate to you then that he was nervous speaking to you?
That can indicate a few things.
Okay.
Those being impairment.
Okay. Now, up to this point, in your interaction, just before you asked him to get out of the vehicle, you didn't notice any open containers in the vehicle, correct?
That is correct.
So the next thing you did was you asked Mr. Martinez to get out of the vehicle to perform roadside impairment testing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you asked him to do that because you suspected he was operating a vehicle under the influence of alcohol.
Yes.
And I guess to summarize the evidence or clues of that, you would say he committed 2 traffic infractions, speeding or accelerating at a high rate of speed, and not stopping at a stop sign. So that'd be the first thing, right?
Yes.
A faint odor of alcohol coming from the vehicle, but I think you also testified specifically from the defendant.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. And then his eyes were bloodshot and watery. Those were all the things that indicated to you he might be operating the vehicle under the influence.
Also, his unusual amount of perspiration.
Okay.
For the conditions.
For the roadside impairment testing, you had him perform first the walk and turn test, correct?
I asked him for the first test that I was going to do would be the walk and turn.
Okay. Ultimately, in summary, you observed 1 clue and then he ultimately refused to finish testing, correct?
It was at this moment that his brain kicked in and said, "This will only end badly."
Correct.
And so he didn't do any other roadside impairment tests other than started to do the walk and turn, for which you observed 1 clue, correct?
Correct.
You did not, he did not submit to a preliminary breath test. So you didn't have that result, right?
Correct.
And based on everything you had learned up to that point, you placed Mr. Martinez under arrest and then transported him to the law enforcement center.
Yes, that based on the 1 clue I was able to observe off that test and the clues of him exiting and prior to the beginning of testing.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Mr. Bradley,
Thank
would
you,
you
Your Honor.
like to cross-examine the witness?
I would.
Go ahead.
Officer Jones, could you provide some clarity on how you were approaching? Was this a 4-way stop?
3-way stop. Fort Street. I was headed southbound on 4th Street, or Fort, not 4th. That'd be Fort. Crossing a railroad, and I observed the blue Dodge Charger turn off of, it was southbound on Main Street, turned on to 9th Street to head westbound, heavily accelerated. I could tell that if I continued at my rate of speed, it would likely end up in an accident, that he was not going to be able to properly stop his vehicle due to his acceleration. So I slowed my vehicle. My assumption was correct. He blows through the stop sign, and I immediately initiated my emergency lights and sirens.
Could you explain your quick acceleration or what you were talking about? Did
Quick
he
acceleration.
break traction, anything like that?
By quick acceleration, the definition under drag racing in the Kansas statute traffic ordinances.
Sorry, just what did you observe?
It was a blue Charger. He observed him being a douchebag.
The vehicle did.
The vehicle made a left-hand turn onto 9th Street. At that point, he would be explained. Easiest way to say is he heavily accelerated. He pressed down on the gas pedal. You could hear the vehicle accelerate and observe the vehicle rock back onto its rear wheels, accelerating heavily, which is a visual indication of somebody using excessive acceleration, which...
Okay. Thank you. I wasn't trying to get into the traffic citation, just what you actually observed to get to this indication. What time of day was this?
I want to believe it was just before 2 a.m.
Okay. How How long have you worked in Hayes, Kansas?
3 years.
Okay. Did you take that into consideration, the time of day?
Yes, that is a strong indicator in our college town of people leaving bars, headed home, headed back to hotels.
Right. Doesn't mean they're guilty, just you took it into consideration.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see, your initial observations, you indicated the odor of alcohol.
Yes, sir.
Were you able to confirm that odor after he was removed from the vehicle or after he exited the vehicle?
I was. When he exited the vehicle, he stood in front of me, kind of unsteadily. And as I'm talking to him while I'm doing, I could smell the odor still coming off of him while at the driver's door exiting the vehicle. And then once again, I could smell the odor of alcohol consumed alcohol, coming from Mr. Martinez while doing his safety pat down for weapons.
Very good. And you indicated that you observed bloodshot and watery eyes while he was still in the vehicle?
That is correct.
In your 3 years of experience, does that often key in with possible impairment?
Yes, it is a. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. I want you to testify. This is your story. You had mentioned that I'm not sure. Did he make eye contact with you during the initial?
During the initial, he was hesitant to. A common thing to do for people that are under the influence. They try not to have their mouth or eyes facing to you to answer questions, and that was what he was trying to do. Was he was kind of talking to me out of the side of his face.
Okay. And again, not proof of anything, but you took it into consideration.
Correct.
Sweating with the AC in September. After reviewing your report, did you figure out what he initially said that he was going to, his location?
Yes, after he said he was leaving the college dorms and headed to Taco Bell.
Okay, did that story change later on?
I would have to read farther into my narrative to get if that story changed later, and maybe look at my influence report to get the exact answer of what he was saying. But I do recall him changing his story and admitting that he was coming from the bars in my influence report.
Okay. Moving on to the walk and turn. You said you started with the instructions.
Yeah, so after I got him out of the vehicle, I did my initial weapons pat down, make sure officer safety was there. And then I told him that the first test I was going to ask him to perform was the walk and turn. At that point, I instructed him to get into the starting position, and he was unable to maintain that starting position.
What is the starting position?
Starting position would be with your left foot on the line, right foot in front of that foot, heel and toe touching, with your right and left arm down by your sides, not holding your pocket, just resting by your sides. And then not to move from that until my instructions were done.
So they're supposed to stand there while you give the remainder of the instructions, etc.
Correct. On a line or an imaginary line that is in front of them.
Gotcha. Were you able to complete your instructions?
No.
Okay. Could you explain how did he stumble? Did he just put his foot down?
He was unable to keep his balance while maintaining his feet heel and toe touching in front of each other.
Okay. And at that time, did you indicate that he shouldn't, or did he say that he was not going to?
I believe I asked him to get back into the starting position and please not move until instructed to do so. And then he informed me that he was not going to continue testing.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I believe I asked him again after that if he was sure that if he could continue testing, and he again refused.
Okay. Was it just that one test, or did you ask if he would take any other tests?
I believe I asked if there was any tests that he would be willing to perform, and I then asked if he would be willing to provide a preliminary breath test, all of which were denied.
I have nothing further. Thank you.
Mr. Anderson, do you have any redirect?
Yeah, just want to talk about the bloodshot watery eyes real quick. Is a person who has bloodshot watery eyes, does that indicate every single time that that person has not only consumed alcohol, but is impaired to a degree where they are incapable of operating a motor vehicle?
No, it does not.
Okay, so there are other reasons then why a person might have bloodshot and or watery eyes.
You are correct.
Did you ask Mr. Martinez about his eyes and what you were observing?
I did not.
No further questions.
No recross.
No recross? Okay. Your next witness, Mr. Anderson.
I do not have any other witnesses, Judge. The petitioner would rest.
Mr. Bradley, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Closing, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, Judge, the whole issue here is whether the certifying officer had reasonable grounds to believe the licensee was operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol. That is something they must certify on the DC-27. As part of that issue, baked into that issue, what I'm asking this court to consider, what has been the topic of discussion amongst, reviewing courts, is whether the evidence or observations made by the officer were evidence of impairment or merely evidence of consumption. Consuming alcohol is not a crime, and consuming alcohol and driving is not necessarily a crime. A certifying officer must have reasonable grounds to believe that a licensee is under the influence of alcohol to a degree that renders the licensee incapable of safely operating the vehicle. For that, here in this case,
he blew through a stop sign and nearly caused a crash. Thank God it was an officer who was watching and paying attention, knowing drunks are out that late. And thank God it was an officer who had the ability to pull him over for his excessive speeding and punching the gas to get, I don't know, through the stop sign. The guy was not driving in a safe manner.
what the court, I guess, in order to uphold this suspension, what the court needs to determine is that Officer Jones was able to observe more than just evidence of consumption of alcohol. There's two case citations I'll give the court. I want to talk about one case in particular. The first case is Chambers versus Kansas Department of Revenue, number 115,141, 2017 Westlaw 1035442. This is a Kansas Court of Appeals case, 2017. This is a case where the court concluded that the licensee had consumed alcohol, but that there was no indications that the licensee had an illegal amount of alcohol in his blood. This case is discussed in the main case that I wanted to discuss with you, judges. Krista Jackson v. Kansas Department of Revenue. This is an unpublished decision, number 118,504. This case was decided July 27th of 2018. In this case, Krista Jackson v. Kansas Department of Revenue, the issue at hand again was whether the certifying law enforcement officer had grounds to believe that the licensee was operating a vehicle while under the influence of alcohol to a degree that rendered them incapable of safely operating the vehicle. The court looked at the evidence in the totality of the circumstances. They balanced, the factors that would weigh kind of in favor of a determination that the person was operating the vehicle under the influence of alcohol. But then they also balanced the clues that would, combat that. In that case, the factors that the officer articulated for his probable cause determination to arrest the licensee were the officer had stopped the licensee for speeding, but did not observe any other traffic violations. Once stopped, the officer noted that the licensee smelled like alcohol. The licensee admitted to having a couple of beers earlier in the night, and she had an open case of beer in the back seat with a couple of beers missing. The officer did have other indicators, according to him, that the court, discarded. One such indicator was that the officer noticed the licensee had bloodshot, glassy eyes. The panel discarded this observation because the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration specifically removed bloodshot, watery eyes as a visual indicator of impairment back in 1997. The court noted that the licensee in this case did not slur her speech. She produced her license without fumbling. She got out of the car and walked without difficulty. And after the licensee refused to submit to testing, she was then arrested. The court again focused their analysis on, whether or not the evidence presented was evidence of consumption versus evidence of impairment. Ultimately, the Court of Appeals affirmed the district court's determination that the officer lacked reasonable grounds to believe the licensee was under the influence to the extent that she could not safely operate her vehicle. So this case is, I would say, extremely similar to the case at hand. Here and I want to focus in on two moments. The moment Mr. Martinez was required to exit the vehicle and submit to additional testing, and then the moment he was arrested. At the moment he was asked to get out of his vehicle, I believe the evidence today was, that the officer articulated that he believed would indicate, impairment, where the time of day, this was just before 2 a.m., a time commonly, known to be a time in which driving under the influence occurs. He observed 2 traffic violations, a rapid acceleration of speed, and that the defendant failed to stop at a stop sign. He detected a faint odor of alcohol coming from the vehicle, which contained 2 occupants. He observed the defendant to be sweaty and using his air conditioning in September. And he observed bloodshot, watery eyes. But, I guess balancing or combating that, there were no open containers in the car that the officer had observed at that point, no admission of consumption. Although he blew through that stop sign, he was quick to respond to the officer's emergency lights, quick to pull over, used his turn signal to pulled over appropriately. Mr. Martinez did not fumble getting his license, registration, and insurance. He was dressed appropriately. He was acting appropriately. He was cooperative. So I would say, at the moment that he was asked to exit the vehicle for additional testing, this officer lacked reasonable grounds to have him get out of the vehicle for testing. And then at the time of arrest, all we have on top of what I've already discussed is a partial test, the walk and turn, in which the defendant was unable to maintain the starting position, but then refused all other testing. So, I would argue that we clearly have evidence of consumption in this case, but we don't have enough for the officer to certify that this licensee was operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol to the extent that he was incapable of safely operating the vehicle. Which is simply not enough. Like was the case in the Chambers case, and like was the case in Krista Jackson v. Kansas Department of Revenue. So I would ask that the court reverse the Kansas Department of Revenue's administrative order suspending Mr. Martinez's license. Thank you.
Mr. Bradley.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, to clarify that it is the plaintiff's burden to provide evidence that there was not reasonable grounds to request testing. And to that point, this is simply a establishment of reasonable grounds to request a test. That we do not need to prove that he was impaired. That's what the intoxilizer test is used for. Simply put, all this needs to have is, were there enough small indicators to add up for the totality of circumstance that there were reasonable grounds to request testing.
See, he's not fighting for guilty or innocent of the charges. He's already been convicted. He's just trying to get his license unsuspended.
I will note that Chambers is a little bit different, as in Chambers, he admitted to consuming 2 beers, and that actually seemed quite reasonable to the judge. Herein, Martinez indicated he did not consume any alcohol, and clearly that was inaccurate, as he was removed from the vehicle later on and exhibited the odor of alcohol. I will point out that Chambers, it's kind of a terrible case. The Chambers was actually the supervising officer of the one arresting him. And so there were just an absolute plethora of issues with that whole case. There are quite a few other cases that have similar things. The Jackson case, I would actually like to jot down. However, there was obviously reason to request the initial traffic stop, blowing through the acceleration of speed. As soon as he observed the odor of alcohol, even without the eye contact, even without the bloodshot eyes and all those different things, he had reasonable reason to remove him from the vehicle to confirm whether that odor was coming from him or his passenger. Once out of the vehicle, he confirmed the odor was going from him, and he was then subject to all the rest of those tests. Even though he refused to complete the SFSTs and the PBT, which those in themselves are also indicators of impairment, while trying to explain the instructions for the walk and turn, the driver was unable to stand just in a erect position for more than a few seconds, even without any sort of movement or anything like that. So you definitely have the lack of balance. You have the watery eyes. You have the bloodshot eyes.
And before anybody else says it, you have the inability to remain erect.
And even if those aren't in NHTSA anymore, they are still indicators from his experience. You have the 2 a.m., you have the stop sign infraction, you have the odor, you have the confirmed odor alcohol later, you have the sweating within his own vehicle, you have the change of story about where he was coming from, where he was going, and finally his stumbling.
The inability to remain erect is always a sign of being intoxicated. It even has a name. They call it whiskey dick.
So all of those things could be excused as allergies or some other issue. Maybe he just doesn't like talking to people with eye contact. But the officer clearly had reason in the totality of circumstances to request a intoxilizer test. And so we ask that the plaintiff's motion or request be denied for failure to present enough evidence. Thank you.
And Mr. Anderson, you may respond.
Yeah, just quickly, concerning the totality of the circumstances, again, it's incredibly important that the court also factor in those pieces of evidence that would weigh against what this defendant operating the vehicle under the influence to a degree where he was incapable of safely operating the vehicle, right? There was ample evidence that weighs the other way. Again, no open containers, no admission to consumption. More importantly, his reaction time to the officer's lights was very quick. His time to respond to this officer's emergency lights and sirens and get pulled over was appropriate. He used his turn signal to indicate that he was pulling over for this officer. He did not fumble getting his license, registration, insurance, so on and so forth, right? So while there are admittedly, evidence in this case of consumption of alcohol, I just would assert there, like the Krista Jackson case, and in fact, maybe even more so, there's just not enough evidence here to demonstrate that the licensee was operating this vehicle, that the officer has reasonable grounds to believe that this licensee was operating the vehicle under the influence of alcohol. So again, we would ask that you reverse the Kansas Department of Revenue's decision. Thank you.
Okay, this, like all of these traffic cases, comes down to totality of the circumstances, what the officer observed, what conclusions he drew from what he observed. Did he go step to step to step, and why he did that? You know, first we know that a traffic stop is a seizure, that he has to have articulable suspicion that the driver is committing or about to commit a crime, in this case, traffic infractions. It is September 21st, 2025. The officer's on a one-way street on 4th Street headed south. He observes the plaintiff's vehicle turning from Main Street, a block to the east of him. He observes the vehicle accelerate excessive to the point where the motor lifts off the ground and he rocks onto the back tires of the car, and he's coming to the intersection at a high rate of speed. The officer, again at 2 a.m, near the intersection, goes ahead and slows down, believing the plaintiff is not going to stop for the stop sign, and he doesn't. He blows through it. This isn't a slow and go at a stop sign. He merely blew through a stop sign at a high rate of speed at 2 a.m, which now demonstrates he is not safely operating the vehicle. The officer makes a traffic stop. When the plaintiff pulls over, he's still about a car's width from the curb. It doesn't matter so much that he was across the perpendicular parking lines, but when he stops, he is still a car's width from the curb. He gets out of the vehicle. Well, the officer approaches and smells a faint odor of alcohol coming from the vehicle. He asks him out of the vehicle, and when he steps out of the vehicle, he observes the odor coming from the driver. He had also observed him sweating profusely on a cool September morning at 2 a.m, and had noted that the defendant, or the driver, the plaintiff driver, was even running his air conditioner in the car.
Oh, that wasn't sweat. He just hit the dew point.
So the officer looks at that totality of circumstances. He has articulable suspicion to stop the vehicle. He observes him unsafely operating the vehicle. He then smells the odor of alcohol and asks him out of the vehicle. That's all appropriate in this stop. Once he's out of the vehicle, he asks him to perform the standard field sobriety testing. The first is the walk and turn. And when he asks him to perform the walk and turn, he puts him in the start position, 1 foot in front of the other to maintain balance, and he observes the driver could not maintain balance. Then he asked him to again get into that position. At that time, the driver refuses to take that test. He refuses the other standard field sobriety testing, and he refuses to take a preliminary breath test. The officer certainly had the right to ask for the preliminary breath test after what he had observed, the unsafe driving, the odor of alcohol coming from the driver, and the balance. He could not maintain balance. So the officer had reasonable suspicion, more than just a hunch, that he was operating under the influence of alcohol. He had already observed the unsafe driving, and now he observed the smell of alcohol and the driver's inability to maintain balance at the start of the field sobriety testing. And then he refuses the preliminary breath test. So it's a valid stop, it's a valid arrest. And the plaintiff's appeal is denied.
Would you like me to
Any
journalize? Your Honor?
additional findings you need for the record, Mr. Anderson?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, Your Honor.
I said, any additional findings you need for the record, Mr. Anderson? Anything else you want the court to address?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional findings or anything else you want the court to address, Mr. Bradley?
No, Your Honor. Do
Okay,
you wish me to journalize?
Mr. Bradley, you'll do the journal entry.
Very good.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Then you have,
Oh, dang it, I cannot type. Jerry said that he was going to host his own live stream on Discord, and it was going to be a webcam stream, and I say I'd ban him. I'm not gonna have that on my Discord. I am like 43 years old, my sweet. I am not too old or too young for it. I love how delusional you guys are. You're the best.
Thank you.
then you have Debor Muya.
Yeah, and I have the cert on that. I'm gonna drop them into the.
And that was filed with the court. It's the city's position that the city is not satisfied that is in fact real proof. And I can go into my argument here.
Okay, hang on just a minute. Why is that not real?
Well, Your Honor, so has the court seen it?
Yeah, I got it right in front of me.
So I reached out to counsel last week and said I am concerned about the validity of their certificate. I asked if they could provide any additional information, proof of payment, a person to contact to verify it. Nothing additional was provided. I guess I note just to make an offer of proof, the research that I did on the Department of Licensing, I couldn't find that they in fact had a class for this. I note that the certificate doesn't indicate any sort of driver's license number or a certificate number. I note that there's no signature by someone who claims to have issued this certificate. I'd also note that there's no official seal or watermark or any other way for this to be verified. I also note that it says the DOL driver training school programs. I'd assert to the court that the DOL as a government agency wouldn't use that abbreviation on an authentic certificate. They would fill out the entire name of their agency, and that this appears to be a fabricated certificate. No emails have been provided to Lacey forwarding how the defendant got the certificate or any sort of website to verify that it in fact is accurate. What the city was able to find in forms of any sort of certificate from the Department of Licensing website. I will just take a second so I can share my screen so council could see what I could find for the Department of Licensing. Oh, screen sharing is not turned on.
What, you were to say something there, Mr. Grasher?
Are we talking about the same document, Your Honor? I dropped the document into the chat. I'm not sure if that's the same one or.
He filed a different one on Muya just now with me.
Okay,
So I will need.
go ahead and print that one off too. Then.
Sorry.
Yeah, on the Muya case, it says that what I'm looking at, what I think, and it says certification of knowledge examiner. I don't even know what that means. But now we have a different certificate. The one you just sent is different from that. And my guess is this will satisfy Ms. Eddy.
And I'm
But
sorry, is
just
this on
guessing.
this case or is that on the first case the court called that counsel was
No,
sending?
that's on this one. This is the one for Hune. Take it. Take a look at that. And this is the one from, yeah. There you go. There's the two separate cases. I would like to know what a certification of knowledge examiner means, though.
I mean, I want that title.
And Your Honor, it's the city's position that this completion date is 3/24/26. The SOC was entered into on September 10th of 2025 and would have expired on March 10th. I don't think the defendant should be rewarded for what it looks to me submitting a fraudulent receipt to the court, and then after the city catches this issue, then completing inaccurate, which is outside the time of the contract. So it's the city's position. He failed to comply with a viable, authentic certificate within the time of the contract. He's thus violated the terms of the contract, and the court should find the offense committed.
Oh, he didn't even look up what a real one looked like and try to like alter that document. He just decided to go on a whim and make his own as if the prosecutor's never seen one before. And it wasn't just him. It was him and the guy before him, apparently. They both did it. What?
What about Hune?
Your Honor, if we could stick to, we can just stick to one case before we jump back to the other case, please.
Mr. Grasher, what's your response to what the city just said?
I mean, Your Honor, I don't have anything to rebut the allegation of a fraudulent document, and I'm not sure what a certificate of knowledge examiner or whatever that was is either. It sounds like, based on what's been presented, the individual has now complied. I acknowledge that it was late, but I would ask that the court find him in substantial compliance.
Can I take a look at those? Ms. Eddy? Both of them.
And Your Honor, this, as to the first case, the Hoon, the city is going to request a continuance to look into the validity of that certificate, given that the issues that this firm has had on the Mr. Moya's certificate that they presented to the court.
So you think the Hoon case is?
I want the opportunity to.
I mean, they're both on the same.
I want the opportunity to look at it, Your Honor.
All right. So then we'll just reset both of these there, Mr. Grasher.
Sure. And then
on March 24th.
Madam Prosecutor, can you drop your email into the chat for me? Because I'm gonna send both these documents to the court, and then I want to include you in there as well, so you get a copy.
No, we got them. You don't need to worry about us.
But Your Honor, I guess I'm not asking to continue it for Mr. Moya because I do feel I'm sticking firmly to the position. It was not
I
completed
know,
within
but
the
I
time
would,
frame.
but Mr. Hoons is beyond. And if I were to rule on it, I would tell you that I would dismiss it. So, but if you think if you think you have a problem with these certificates, if they turned out to be false, then that's a separate thing. But
if they turn out to be false, I would hope the prosecutor would file charges.
I'm of the opinion generally, and he's not here. I can't quiz him on why he submitted that. We can guess or what that stuff even means. But generally, when people do what they're supposed to, even if it's a little bit late on an infraction, a stipulated order of continuance, I'll give them credit for doing it. I will.
Even if they lied to your court, even if they committed fraud, even if they submitted documents under oath, committing perjury, essentially, you'd give them a pass. What, Washington? I love this judge typically, but what?
And so, yeah. But if you think that there's problems with these, they were both done on the same date, I see. And Mr. Hunes was also done, I think he entered his on the 18th or something like that. And so, no, so that was probably a few days late too, but anyway.
Understood, Your
Reset them
Honor.
both for, I guess we'll set them for final hearing. And then you might want to speak with your clients there. It may be helpful to have them here.
Yeah.
You don't normally do infractions like this. Because I told you what I would do on this, but I may not be the judge. And a different judge might have a different opinion.
Okay. And I'm just covered, so I apologize. I was discombobulated with this whole thing. I was, I guess, unaware that there was these documents flying around, except for these 2 certs that were given to me this morning.
All right. Yeah, 324. When was that? That was like Tuesday.
Two days ago, right?
Yeah. All right. So we'll reset them. We go out about a month.
Oh, shoot. Dag nabbit. I went to pause it and I accidentally went all the way back to the beginning. But no, I was going to say the reason you didn't know about it, sir, was because your client submitted it directly to the court, anticipating
What was that?
that
I was like,
he was going to be done with you. He didn't think you'd ever find out. Oh, they're going to get this beautiful document that I have purchased or produced myself. And they're going to just close the case and I won't need my lawyer anymore. That's why you had no idea about it. They were trying to pull one over on you. But the prosecutor's smarter than you, them. I really meant them.
Tuesday.
Two days ago, right?
Yeah. All right. So we'll reset them. We go out about a month.
Okay, since there's just 3 of y'all, I'm not gonna take too much time to go over a bunch of stuff that I don't think you need to hear. Mr. Travis, you have a running a stop sign citation that is associated, it looks like, with higher charges. Like you've got some other charges also yesterday, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this, if you pled guilty or no contest to this, it could affect your higher or additional charges, could be used in that trial. Have you already spoken with the judge about your higher charges?
Just now?
Yes?
Correct.
Okay, so did he set a bond for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and will you be contacting a bondsman now?
Yeah, when I get back to the pod, I will.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, you could, if you pled guilty or no contest, like I said, it could affect your higher additional charges. You are time served on this. So what you could do is plead not guilty today. I will set a bond also. The bond will state your return date should be Monday at 2. So that if you get out this weekend, you'll just need to come see me at 2 o'clock on Monday. And we can have a better conversation about what you need to do to take care of your case. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so I'm going to have you plead not guilty today, and I'll enter that for you. I'm going to set what's called a PR bond. Now, on your other cases, I don't know what kind of bond that judge has set, but you go back to your pod, you call bondsman or your family, whoever you need to call. If you get out before Monday, I will need to see you Monday at 2 o'clock. That will be the date and time listed on your bond, okay?
All right, I'm here.
We are located at 201 Southeast 4th, the Amarillo Municipal Court. It's where you take care of traffic tickets and things. We're in the same building as the police department.
Okay.
Okay, you can see the deputy on your way out. Thank you. Ms. Boyer?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 19, ma'am.
Been to jail before?
Just recently, but I haven't been to court for it.
Okay, what'd you go to jail for previously?
I had disposed.
You what?
Had like disposed.
Okay. Well, this is a public intoxication you were charged with. That's a Class C misdemeanor punishable by a fine of up to $500. If you're found guilty, you could lose your ability to get a driver's license. They suspend your driver's license. Then you also would have to take an alcohol education course, do some alcohol-related community service. You can plead guilty to this case and then have those things happen. Or you can plead not guilty today, get out of jail, come see me, talk to me about what you can do to try to keep this off of your criminal record. Are you interested in that instead? Okay, you have to make sure you come see me. Now, I'm a little worried about the little narrative I read here that you jumped out of a moving vehicle. That only happens in movies, okay?
I know. I'm really am trying to work to get myself together. Like, I just got this job at Walmart. Like, I really do love the job.
Good.
It only happens in movies and on the streets of Amarillo.
I actually was supposed to go in at 8 a.m. this morning.
Well, let's see. I'll give you what's called a PR bond. You have to make sure you show up by Monday at 2. You can come in at 11 or 2, but you can't miss your court date. If you miss your court date, I'll issue a warrant for your arrest.
Can I
So
write it on paper? Sorry.
what?
Can I write it on a piece of paper?
They're gonna give you 2 pieces of paper with that information on it. Make sure you show up, okay? And then, now listen, if you want to do deferred disposition to keep this off of your record, when you come in on Monday, we'll give you further instruction on what you need to do, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks. You're free to go.
Nice day.
You too. Miss Bennett,
You. Oh, sorry.
hold on, he's gonna roll you up here so I can hear you better. Thank you.
Miss Bennett does not care what the charges are. She doesn't care what she's gonna plead. She's not even sure she's gonna make it to her next court date.
Thank you, Deputy. So, Miss Bennett, you were charged back in February with driving with an invalid license. That was over on South Washington. You can plead not guilty, no contest, or guilty. What do you want to do?
Guilty.
Okay.
Our appreciation. Where is this from here? Yes. You put on the gauge stick?
I'm gonna assess a $219 fine. Your court costs are $81. Your total's $300 and your time served. Now, listen, you keep driving around with that suspended license. You know, the county's already charged you once with Class B misdemeanor. You need to figure out what you need to do to get your license back, okay? You're free to go. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Judge Ratliff. As I call your name, you'll come forward just like you did with the clerk. And at that time, I'll talk to you individually. But as a group, I want to discuss with you the nature of the charges that I will be discussing with you and your rights regarding them. So as I call your name, come forward. Sky.
Yes.
Go ahead and come up. Okay, this is a pretty old charge that you got arrested on. It's from December 14th of 2024. It's called pedestrian entering the path of a vehicle over there on Soncy and I-40. Not guilty means you're going to bond out to appear to set it for trial on the date and time of your bond. Guilty or no contest means your time served. How do you want to plead?
Plead innocent.
Okay, so that means not guilty. Now you're going to have to call a bail bondsman to get out because you've had a bond before. Let me look and be sure that's true. Yeah, you had a bond last time you were in jail and you saw Judge Cates, and then you failed to appear for your bond.
Oh,
And And so not guilty means you got to call a bail bondsman so you get some help being sure you show up, or you post a cash bond. And so if you haven't bonded out by Monday, I'll see you again Monday.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, guilty or no contest means your time served. So do you want to bond out and try to bond out?
No, ma'am.
And you still want to plead not guilty?
Guilty to get out, but.
They're not lawyers. Don't take their advice.
I admit being hit. Sorry about that. That's all. that I-
Okay, so do you want to plead guilty or no contest or not guilty? Because you said innocent means not guilty.
Guilty not for the.
Okay, it's called pedestrian entering the path of a vehicle. Not guilty means you got to bond out with a bail bond company or post a $500 cash bond. Guilty or no contest means your time served. What do you want to do?
Well, he already said, I admit to being hit. He's meaning by the vehicle. Oh my goodness. Pedestrian walking in front of a motor vehicle. I didn't even know that was a charge. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know that was a charge. I thought if a car struck a pedestrian, it didn't matter the circumstances. It was always the car's fault. I never knew that a pedestrian could get charged for walking in front of a vehicle.
Innocent or.
Say it again. Okay, you can return to your pot. You can return to your pot, okay?
Thank
But you've
sorry.
got a bond to make.
Very good.
Okay, thank you. Joseph Nichols.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is from this morning. Fail or refused ID, fine range $1 to $500. Court costs are $81. Do you want to plead not guilty because you want to hire an attorney or have a trial? How do you plead?
Yes, guilty.
A little louder for me?
Guilty.
Okay, on your guilty plea, finding court cost is $384. I'm still going to give you $150 jail credit, so $384 less $150 shows a balance of $234. Then disorderly conduct by exposure, fine range $1 to $500. Court costs are $81. How do you choose to plead?
Guilty, I get.
Say it again.
Guilty.
Okay, finding court costs is $484. Again, $150 jail credit. Okay, so 484 less 150, 334. So here's your choice. You still owe 334 plus 234. You owe 568. Do you want to appear Monday to talk about all the different ways to pay it? Or do you just want to sit it out? If you sit it out, it's another 4 days starting tomorrow. So it'd be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You'd get out Tuesday morning.
I'll say it out.
Are you sure that's what you want to do? If you come and see me on Monday, I'll talk to you about community service.
All right, let's do that.
So you want me to release my hold on you?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you appear at my courthouse on Monday
Yes.
with your clothes on?
I don't have any more clothes now.
Well, they won't let you leave with no clothes. You're gonna have clothes. Okay.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, I don't know that. I had a string in my I had a pair of shorts on that holds a string. And when they arrested me, the string got pulled. And when the string gets pulled, my pants fell off.
Okay.
I didn't even pull. I wouldn't take off my pants.
Do you want me to see if a caseworker, a mental health caseworker can check in on you there?
Oh my gosh. His defense was actually a cartoon at one point. There was a string and it just unraveled and the cops pulled the string and suddenly the cop was holding a ball of yarn and he had no pants.
mental health case for me.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, so I'm releasing my hold on you to appear on Monday. You gotta be here at 1:30 for a 2 o'clock hearing. You know where I'm located, downtown Amarillo?
Nothing.
Okay, you know where the police department building is?
3rd Street, maybe?
I'm on that building on the 4th Street side. You get here at 1:30, you come in, check in. I will talk to you about community service because I think you're homeless. Is that right? Okay, and if you fail to appear, I issue warrants. Then when they see you again, you'll just sit them out in jail, okay? Okay, any questions?
I'll be there, ma'am. No question.
Okay, I'll see you Monday.
I'm getting out today. I'm getting out today.
They'll process you out as long as you don't have any other holds. You'll get out today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you may return to your pod.
Follow her back, okay?
Damian Jimenez. So this is so unfortunate. You and I had a really good conversation on March 10th of last year about your circumstances, right? And on that day, you paid $200, and that's the last time you ever paid and the last time I saw you.
Yeah,
So your balance is $36.86 with all that extra jail credit you got from Potter County. It's $600 jail credit. So you and I are talking about $3,086. Why did you let these go to capious warrant?
On March 20th, my grandma had passed and we were in the middle of moving. Like my lease is up. It started in February, but since she passed, they had passed it down to my name and I had to like take over all financial responsibility. And
But you were taking care of her. She wasn't taking care of herself. That was part of your hardship, is taking care of her.
but she was on housing, so like I was helping her pay rent. So like whenever it went down to me, I wasn't on housing. It took like 3 months for me to get housing. And then like I got housing, I had lost my car. I haven't been paying my braces for a year. Like I just barely got like a manager position, like a higher than the last time.
At Chipotle?
Yeah, I'm still there. And like I just got a car.
We talked about all of that, but you didn't come tell me.
Yeah, I was just scared. I had two.
You shouldn't be scared to come talk to the judge that understood your situation and said to come back if you can't do it.
Yeah, I scheduled a Zoom hearing, but I was just scared, like since I was like the sole caretaker of my daughters. My grandma was also on like have custody. But like I was just scared. I'm not gonna lie, that's really the only reason why.
So are you on HUD housing now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm supposed to like renew it this month. It's supposed to be the April 1st whenever I renew it. I was supposed to get my daughter's birth certificate that same day on Tuesday.
Well, looks like what happened at Potter that took you to Potter County is another situation that's not so good. How'd you bond?
I bonded out. My mom had money and I still got money because I had money saved for the next house. Like I could pay 500 today or tomorrow, and then I could pay another 500 on Wednesday. I really wasn't trying to run from it. It's just I had a lot going on. Like,
Yeah, he could pay you $500 and then you won't see him again for a year and 20 days.
Hey, have a seat. Let me think about you a little bit longer, okay? Okay, Mr. Jimenez, what do I want to do regarding you? 3086 is what you owe with your jail credit. That means you owe, no, 3086 is what you owe with your jail credit. If you sat that out, you would be there 21 more days.
I'd lose my house and my job, probably my kids.
But you did that to yourself because you knew you had these really expensive tickets and they're old. December 18th, 2022, January 7th, 2023, November 27th, 2022. And the only time you ever paid is every time you showed up, you came up with $200. December 31st, 2022, December 11th, 2024. honestly, the only thing you have going for you, well, you've got a job. And the other thing you have going for you is you didn't get a bunch of new tickets in the meantime. How'd you manage to not keep getting new tickets?
I just stayed home, just went straight to work and back. Like I've really just been on a straight path and trying to make sure my daughters are like, you know, they have a better life than me. But I really did mess up this past week, and it was a lot to take in. And then like
The person that was involved in that incident, is that the mom of all your babies?
the mom of my kids is passed away. That person is it's one of my new girlfriends, but I don't know why she said that, because she had gotten an abortion. Like I could show paperwork and I'm pretty sure she's gonna drop the charges. Like she had an abortion, and it's just I was breaking stuff in my car, and I guess she was in the car, so it's aggravated assault against them. Like,
So that's what you bonded out on.
yes, ma'am.
So you have a really messy relationship here. Okay.
Really messy doesn't exactly begin to describe that ghetto situation. He was breaking things in his own car, and his toxic girlfriend that just had an abortion told the cops she was pregnant, so he's now got higher charges of DV against a pregnant person, and it's aggravated because he was breaking stuff. That, now there's body cam footage I want.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna cut all ties with her. She's just in touch with my sisters, and I guess my sisters were saying that she said that she'll try to drop the charges since it was.
But you still bonded out on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you use a bail bond company?
Yes, I used Freedom.
And who paid for that?
It was out of my money, but my aunt, she's the one that co-signed.
When we did the warrant roundup and sent all those postcards, why didn't you come in?
It's because y'all have my address, but it's a different unit. Like we had moved units, so I guess all the mail that y'all were sending to the different unit, it was getting sent back or whatever, and they weren't sending me no mail to my unit.
Because you didn't update your court address. Again, another situation you created for yourself.
Because after my grandma passed, that same February, we moved into a new unit. And then she had passed March, so like they had barely put it under my name. No matter what, I wasn't getting any mail at that address because it was under
But
her.
you never told me that happened. So you're not at 110, you're at something else. Don't say the whole thing. What unit are you in?
Me?
131. You're in 131. And before you were in 110. Is that the deal?
No.
All right. Okay. I'm going to release my hold on you, even though this is not deserved. Okay.
I'll pay 500 on without.
Well, I don't, you can talk to me about that when you're here on Monday. Is there any reason you can think of you can't be here Monday, either at 10:30 for an 11 o'clock docket or no later than 1:30 for a 2 o'clock docket?
Oh, he's gonna think of some way. I guarantee he's not there Monday.
Oh, ma'am, I'll make sure. Like I promise, I'll make sure.
I mean, probably for your work. I don't know what's the better time for you to be here.
No, I'll take off. They've been in communication with my boss. She's just said as long as it's not longer than 2 weeks, I still got my job. That she'll work with me. Like I have other coworkers that are on probation. They have court hearings, and I pick up shifts for them too, like for them to go. So I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be a problem.
You have to be here on Monday.
I promise.
Okay. Come early at 10:30 and I'll see you at 11, or be here at 1:30 and I'll see you at 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
Will I have like a letter of it to remind me, or am I gonna remind
They
me?
just hand you a little sheet that gives you the address, but you're gonna have to be smart. If you're the manager at Chipotle, I've said be here on Monday. Monday is the 23rd.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll see you Monday.
Thank you.
Mr. McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good morning. The
Morning.
charge before the court in my court is from March 18th, 2026, drug paraphernalia possession. Fine range on it is $1 to $500. It's regarding a pipe. Court costs are $81. You have a higher associated charge that took you to Potter County. Did you bond out on those?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On this charge, you need to understand, of course, you have the right to plead not guilty because you have the right to hire an attorney or have a trial. Those are good reasons to plead not guilty. But if you plead guilty or no contest, you have those higher charges that happen at the same time in event. It can be used against you at your trial on those higher charges if you plead guilty or no contest to the drug paraphernalia possession. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So to this charge, do you want to plead not guilty because you want to hire an attorney or have a trial? How do you choose to plead?
What if I plead no contest?
No contest, it can be used against you in the future on those other charges. Finding court costs is $531 with $450 jail credit. You would still owe $81. So no matter whether or not you plead not guilty, guilty or no contest, you'll still have to appear at my courthouse. You're not time served.
Oh, I'm not time served. So what?
Nope, not quite.
I don't quite understand this because I've been in jail 3 days.
I'm giving you 3 days jail credit. That's $450.
Okay, so then if I plead
$531 less $450 is $81. You'd still owe $81 if you
No.
plead guilty or no contest.
no, not guilty, I won't get out right now.
No matter what you decide to do today, you're getting out today. Not guilty means you bond out with a personal bond. Guilty or no contest means you are released to appear on Monday.
Man, I'm confused. I ain't never been through all this. I guess no contest.
No contest means you don't want a trial, you don't want to hire an attorney. Is that how you choose to plead?
I guess so. I don't really know.
Well, if you don't know, plead not guilty and come see me on the date and time of your bond.
Not guilty, I guess.
Okay. So when you're leaving the jail, you're going to sign the face of a bond that didn't cost you any money at all. But don't miss that hearing because, as I said, it's a lot easier for me to communicate with you in person. That's an in-person hearing downtown Amarillo at the police department. Well, we're on the 4th Street side of the police department building. Be here on that date and time of the bond.
Ain't no problem.
Okay, so you're free to return to your pod. I'll see you next week.
All right.
Nicholas Nahar, you can go back to your pod, Mr. McNeil.
So am I legal today?
Okay, so we have a couple of different types of things to talk about. You have Capias on August 26, 2025, no driver's license. August 2026. Oh yeah, you got 2 tickets the same day. Expired driver's license that you've pled no contest to. An expired driver's license from August 28th, 2025. And a no seatbelt driver and expired driver's license from, you had a bad August, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, the total on those is $849 less $150 jail credit. You owe $699. And I gave you community service, but I don't show that you did even 1 hour.
I had the paper, right? And I called up there to see if I could take it up there. And I don't know what happened to the paper, so I called them back. They said to get a new paper from you and take it to the High Plains Food Bank and they'll fill it out again. But then I went to jail. I went to Potter County and
Okay, you were in Potter County quite some time.
So his excuse is I lost a piece of paper that would have recorded my community service hours, so I couldn't do the community service hours? What? He didn't even go for the dog ate my homework defense. He just went straight for I lost it, and because I didn't have that magical piece of paper, I couldn't do it. That's a great defense.
But my hearing, and you even called about it, I saw that you called the clerks and they said, why don't you come on in? And that was, you called the clerks after I issued the warrants, because when I issued the warrant on the show cause, I checked to see if you were still in Potter County and you weren't. And we had sent all those notices. So on February 10th of this year, you called and you talked to the clerk and we said that the warrants were issued and she said that you needed to appear soon. So why didn't you come see me like that week?
I didn't get the email until after, what do you call it?
But you called and talked to the clerk and she told you to come on in.
Yeah, I know I had to make up for lost time. I was behind on bills. I had to work.
Okay, so as of today, you owe $6.99. Is somebody gonna be able to come and pay that?
I don't get county time for being at Potter. I don't get back time.
No,
for Potter.
because you weren't there. I gave you a hearing. I checked to see on the day of the show cause, you had been released. So you weren't there because of my charges. You were there on other things, or they would have transported you to Randall County like they did this time.
That's what it don't make sense, because I got the email the same day. At 5 o'clock, I got your email saying I have a warrant now.
You weren't there on the day that I issued the warrants. You weren't at the Potter County Jail. You had been released.
I know. I didn't know that I had the warrants though. When I got out of county,
But then you called the day and you should have come in that day. After you called and she said you had warrants, you should have been here in February. And here we are, March 20th, and here you are.
The lady said I would be able to get time served for it though, because I was in Potter County the whole
She
time.
didn't say that. She said you have to talk to the judge. The clerks don't give time credit. They don't know what the rules are.
That's why I didn't understand. I was like,
Here's probably what she said. If you want to ask the judge for jail credit, you have to be here to ask for that. And you and I would have had the same conversation that you and I are having right now. I would have said, well, I didn't issue the warrants. I issued the warrants because you were out. And I don't issue, and let me tell you, if you were still there and I issued the warrants, I would have had you transported from Potter County to Randall County to see you in jail in February, but you weren't there. So I issued the warrants to cause you to come in. So here you are. The conversation we're having is, I wasn't holding you there. If you had still been there and I issued warrants, then they would have transported you over. But you got out. And you were supposed to be here for your hearing.
so the time
Now, you missed your hearing, but you called and she said for you to come in and you didn't do it.
she didn't tell me I had warrants.
She did.
No, not the no. Because
You called, defendant called, stated he was in the jail when he missed his court date and warrants were issued yesterday. Advised to appear to speak to the judge as soon as possible. That was on February 10th. On February 10th, she told you to come to court.
That's the day I got out. I was gonna do it the next
She
day.
told you to come to court on February 10th. And so you had all of February to appear, most of March, and here we are on the 20th. I'm giving you the jail credit you're due. You owe $6.99. Do you want to, you failed community service, so you're going to sit it out. Okay, so let's talk about the charges you got on January 23rd. Okay, so now I do need to look. You were in there. So these are the charges you got that were on views when they took you to Potter County. Defective stop lamps, fine range $100 to $200. Not guilty means you want to hire an attorney or have a trial. Bond out with a personal bond to appear once you're out. Guilty or no contest means your time served, because on this you do get that Potter County jail time. How do you choose to plead?
But I wasn't in there on the tickets though. That don't make no sense.
Well, but you were there and got the tickets on that day. So I give you jail credit for these that are summons. I see your confusion, but I'm right with regard to jail credit.
I'll take no.
Are you trying to get her to not give you the credit, sir? But Your Honor, I wasn't in Potter County for those tickets either. You've just denied me $700 worth of tickets, and now you're gonna time serve me for these? How dare you?
So how do you choose to plead to defective stop lamps?
No contest on all of it.
Well, we'll go through each one because you might not want to plead no contest on all of them.
No contest on all of it.
The wrong color of stoplight, fine range is $100 to $200. How do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, 245, time served. To fail the signal distance before a turn, how do you plead?
No contest.
He gave you 2 of those. Did they just not like how you were driving?
I don't think nobody likes me at this point.
How do you choose to plead to that?
No contest.
245, time served. To defective brakes, how do you plead?
No contest.
Fine and court costs 245, time served. And then lastly, to driving my license is invalid. That fine range is $100 to $500. Court costs are 81. Now that has an extra consequence. Future charges can be filed as a higher charge with proof of a prior conviction. You are time served. How do you choose to plead?
Contest.
Okay, fine and court costs is $419. Okay, your time served. So you owe $699. Is somebody gonna be able to come to the jail and pay it?
No, ma'am.
I can't hear you.
No, ma'am.
Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. Guess I'll go eat worms.
Okay, so just to give you perspective, that's 5 more days starting tomorrow because I gave you the day credit. Any questions?
I thought I had time served, or else I would have came and seen you a long time ago.
If you'd have been time served, I would have removed my warrants. You weren't time served. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Can return to your pod.
You got boss man? Go ahead.
Lori, I put that 150 on the seat belt because that closes that one out.
Okay.
Okay. Samuel Rodriguez.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez.
How are
So
you?
from this morning, first charge is called turn right too wide. Fine range is $100 to $200. Court costs are $134. Do you want to plead not guilty on that because you want to hire an attorney or have a trial?
Yes, ma'am. I'll plead not guilty.
Okay, so when you are leaving the jail, you're going to sign the face of a document called a personal bond. It's a contractual promise that you owe the city $500 on each charge if you're going to plead not guilty to both of them. That if you fail to appear, you would owe the city $1,000. So don't miss that bond hearing. As you sign those documents, it'll give you the court date and time that I want you to appear in court, okay?
And that would be
So
Monday.
fail or, huh?
And that would be Monday.
Well, it could be Tuesday. They assign them based on, as you're leaving the jail, what the jail sets that date for, but it'll be Monday or Tuesday. Now realize if it's set for Tuesday and you want to be here on Monday, come early.
So
I'm always happy for you to be here early.
So I have a question because I work out of town, and Tuesday I'm supposed to be leaving out of town.
Well, then come on. Even if your bond hearing says Tuesday, come on Monday. We'll be here. Monday at 11 or 2. Be here at 10:30 or 1:30.
Okay.
Okay. So 2, the failure refused to ID. How do you plead?
I guess we'll go not guilty on that one too.
Okay. So as you're leaving the jail, you're going to sign those documents called personal bonds. No matter what day that is set, just come in on Monday.
I also had another question. They towed my car, so how am I supposed to be able to get my car back?
Well, when you get out, you can come to the police department. They'll tell you which lot it's at, and you go pay to get it out.
Would you know how much that'd be?
I don't. It depends on the contract they have with the city. Okay, so you'll spend your money on getting your car out of jail. You don't have to spend any money for you to get out of jail.
I'd rather spend money on me than my car.
Well, it's good to have a car.
I've already
So
spent like
you're gonna go
$3,000.
back to your pod, then they'll be processing you out. I'll see you on Monday.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dominic Sanchez. All right, Mr. Sanchez, total capious on a no driver's license and a filter yield right away from a private driver alley from July 14th of 2021.
Who let Sideshow Bob out? Is he still trying to kill Bart? They got him. They got him. They got Sideshow Bob, everybody. Bart is safe.
Is $620 less $300 jail credit means as of today you owe $320. Way back when we gave you a job search and you were supposed to come back in 30 days and we never saw you again. What happened?
I ended up moving to Clovis.
Why didn't
And
you come back and tell me that was the situation?
because I got put on an ankle monitor, and so I was kind of stuck there, but I didn't know who to call, so I called my bail bonds.
Well, so are you going to be able to pay the $320 so you can get out of jail today on my charge? Here's your situation. You've got a lot going on. You have my capious warrants. You have other charges for which you're going to see different judges. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to release my hold on you. I'm going to find that. Do you get food stamps or any kind of government housing?
No,
Do you work?
yeah.
Where do you work?
I work at Atlas Automotive Repair.
And do you support children?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to find you're not indigent. You didn't make a good faith effort to discharge the fine and court costs. Young guy like you can do better than what you did. So you're remanded on what is now $320.
Not with that hair, he can't.
So now what's going to happen with you the rest of the day is you're going to see a series of different judges, one or two, however many, and they're going to talk to you about the other charges for which you're really there on. And so those people will set bonds. You'll be needing to call bail bonds for them. But for my charge, the amount that you need to get out today for me to release my hold on you is $320. So you probably ought to wait to see what those judges say regarding whether or not you can get out. And you'll be working on kind of two tracks, calling bail bondsmen on theirs, and on mine, trying to round up $320 if you can pay to get out with your bonds as well. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. You can return to your pod.
Yes, ma'am.
That was a whole lot of fun, guys. Yeah. You guys are the absolute best. I love you all so much. I'm so happy you were here with me tonight. I had a blast. Oh my gosh, you guys were so funny. You kept me laughing. That one strap. See, it keeps wanting to fall down. My right arm has been stationary and it's not moved. My left one, it keeps like creeping down, and I keep like all of a sudden I'll see it like here. I'm like, no, it does not go there. It goes there. But then I do my little hand wave and say hi and I love you and it just drops. It drops. You are crazy. No. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I love you. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.